Yes, people, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back to another Blue Money show, specifically match preview, Chelsea versus Dortmund match preview, and some transfer news to address. And today, because it has some effect as to how go through the video, because the title starts with the word live, with the words live Chelsea versus Dortmund match review. We have to start with the match preview so it matches what we're presenting to Google algorithm. And after that, we'll address the transfer items we'll have lined up. So it is a mix of match preview and transfer talks. But more importantly, I hope you're all doing well. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. Yes, people, thank you. I was busy sipping my coffee there so I can be fully ready for y'all. More importantly, again, once more, I thank you all for finding the time to join the show. That does go a long way. For those of you that are watching, but for one reason or the other, not able to participate in the chat, we totally understand. You watching alone does provide great value to the community, and we cannot thank you enough. But if you can do us one more favor, which is just to take a second and drop a like on the stream so that, to help us trigger the YouTube algorithm, and we'll have more people here participating in the show and a lot of people to learn from diversified opinion, not just me or the panelists. You can say supplying you with what they know. So let's see. Let me just say hello to the people. Then we'll go straight away into the lineup. And before I start that, I want to ask you this question. We've won how many games in a row? Drew, how many of them did we win again? I don't have it at the top of my head. Let me see, but 100% record, no losses at all. So if you're watching, the question I have for you, are you looking forward to this one? Do you think we'd beat Dortmund? They beat Manchester United, or do you think they'd beat us? Or do you think it'd end in a draw? But the boss himself, Mauricio Pochettino, sounds like he wants to win. And I want to win too. And Dortmund, I think they will come into this game with a strong mindset because they lost to us in a game that, if you ask people then, because we were struggling as at the time, they tell you, that Dortmund were going to knock us out of the Champions League, but we were able to overcome a goal deficit, beat them in the second leg convincingly at the breach, and progress to the next phase of the Champions League. But that's fine. That's, by the way, let me say hello to you. Hello to you, to Gabs Movies. I appreciate you joining. I hope you're doing well. Nice skill moves. I wish you wish you could do that. But you too, I hope you're doing well. Chelsea will win 2-0, he thinks. Okay, let's see what happens. And let's see, it depends on how many people will have that we have today. We didn't do the giveaway for the month of July, so we may do it today, but it depends on how many people we have. Big up to you too, DJ. Always nice to see you and everyone in the chat. He says, please remember to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We have 32 likes already. Let's get it up to 100 and shoot for 300. We can do that. We began the most we've achieved this month. This transfer window is 260 plus. But that's not a bad return, actually, given that Chelsea aren't doing much in the transfer market. But we'll get there. But let's see if we can get it to 100, shoot for 200 and even more. Chelsea support in there. And that Nicolas Tawari, nice to see you, Mr. Tawari. I appreciate you finding the time to join. Welcome to the Chelsea Perspective community. All we ask of you is just to keep it civil, enjoy yourself, be part of the family. And a lot of people may say, look, good morning, my coach and everyone. Good morning to you too, my brother. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you joining the show. And big up to you too, JC. My bro, always nice to see you. Thank you so much for finding the time to join this particular morning. And Ebuka Dike, I like your name because I know the meaning of two of your names. The first and last name, I like them both. I appreciate you finding the time to join. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. And I've asked you the question: what are your expectations? Do you think Chelsea will win this one? Do you think we'll win this one? Do you think Dortmund will beat us, or do you think it will end in a draw? And I want to hear your thoughts there. I'd be interested to see what you have to say there. Let me wait for it. What would do that one more? Just to be clear, I want to be sure. Not just let's look at how many games we've played this particular preseason and how many of them we've won. Let's see. Go back to this one here and do. Yep. So I'm waiting for you. What do you think happens? What sort of game are you expecting to see? We're getting to the preview of the game proper in a bit. But let me see here. Yeah, Mr. Ebuka, welcome once more and enjoy yourself. Feel at home. Just keep us safe, and that's all we'll ask of you. And Jerry C is in the house. Let's see what Jerry has to say. It's that time of the year. Yes, exactly. That is what it is. That time of the year. And Jerry is in the house. And Nico Tawari says we are winning. We should always be positive. But sometimes you have to look at situations and be as subjective as possible. But this time, I think we've been doing well. We've seen we've seen enormous progress by the manager and the players. Also, the fitness is there. They're playing as if they played together for a while. But truthfully, you and I know that isn't the case. So yeah, please, more importantly, keep dropping the likes on the stream and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. For those who believe that Portugal reveal the starting 11 he will use against Liverpool, rest assured he will not give the slightest hint on his one step ahead of the curve. Let's see if that's going to be. I still think at one point in the game, I don't know if they're going to start together or maybe they're going to finish the game. But those people, the starting 11, we'll see. I think we'll get a hint. We get some hint, maybe not 100%, but we'll see something that will give us a good idea. You could say to a measurable extent, the players we'll see against Liverpool come our first match this season. But keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along. But big up to you too, Michi. I'm going to set up Nightbot so that whenever you come in here, it will introduce you and share the link to your channel so people can go check it out. But let's see what happens. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. Once more, big up to you too. Mitchell boy, I appreciate you joining. Hello, fam. Hope y'all all are good. I hope you're good too. I want to see Enzo and Santos more time in the double pivot and Nkunku behind Jackson. Let's see. I just asked the question. What do you think happens? Are you looking forward to this one? Do you think we'd lose? Do you think we'd win? Or do you think he ends in a draw? You let us know. Chelsea will win 3-0. That's Joel Jr. JJ, I like your name there. Big up Mitchell boy. Everybody saying hello to you too. Smash the like button, says my bro Bobby Smoky Signals. Much love to everyone in the chat. Much love to you too, brother. I hope you're doing well. And here we have start with Jackson and then Nkunku. Give them at least 60 minutes. There's a chance we'll see maybe the starting 11 will start the game or finish the game, or maybe we'll see half of those that will start the game and half of those that will start and the rest will finish the game. If he's trying to avoid giving a hint with regards to what 11 starts against Liverpool, but we're not sure. But the truth remains, we will get a hint of what's to come. Come the day we'll play Liverpool. And I have my bro DJ Soof in the house. Much love to you too, brother. I hope you're doing well. So DJ, the question is, are you looking forward to this one? Do you think we'll beat Dortmund? Do you think they beat us? Do you think he ends in a draw? But the truth remains, it's not going to be an easy game. Because the truth, they'll still be bitter given the fact that they were leading. We were one goal down during the Champions League encounter with them, and they came to the breach. People were saying it's over for us, that they were going to knock it out, but we overcome. We did overcome the one goal deficit and went ahead to beat them convincingly. But your thoughts? Are you looking forward to this one and all the questions I've asked you?
Yeah, good afternoon, Kachila. How are you, brother? You all right?
Yeah, I can't complain. Thank you so much for asking.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on as always, brother. Big up to everyone in the comments as well.
Big up to you too.
Yeah, listen, I'm looking forward to the game. I think the last time we beat Dortmund, a lot of people, a lot of the so-called experts, as they say, were saying that we were going to lose that game, and because the way we were playing, I can understand that. But we turned up at Stamford Bridge, we done them over, and we walked away and got through to the next stage. I think tonight's not going to be. I think I always back my team to win, as you know, Kachila. I never give a score line, but I back us to win. Of course, of course, it's going to be a tougher test tonight because obviously it is Dortmund. But I still think we can. I still think we've got an opportunity to beat them tonight, and I don't see why we can't go into that game being confident. We've won this. We've got a little trophy under our belt already. So it's the first of many of that new competition that we played in, but it's still a trophy. And hopefully we can go with the players will go with confidence to go and win that game tonight.
Yeah, and I think given what makes it, you can say a special game, it's more than just friendly. The fact that they were one goal up in the first leg and we overcome a goal deficit to beat them and progress to the next phase of the Champions League, they didn't like that. And I think they see it as an opportunity to show that they're the better side. But that's just my opinion. Let's see what else we have in the chat. And I want to see how many games we've actually played. How many games in total under Mauricio Pochettino? We'll look at some stuff here. Let me see. In the preseason, it's been 1, 2. Yep. How many games in total? 1, 2, 3, 4 games. Yeah, 3 wins, 1 draw. So 100%, no losses at all. Let me see what we have in the chat. Say hello to people there. Hello everyone on the channel. Hi coach, hope you're doing good. I can't complain. Gabriel Kelta, appreciate you joining. I hope Lukaku. Okay. Now we're talking about the game, and please, I know again, as much as I like to interact with you, but the truth remains, flipping. You can say going back and forth, switching topics like this. It can be. I won't say tiring. It can be exhausting. But if you stick to the current topic, we can go for 8 hours, and I will not complain. And it doesn't have to be switching topics like that. Please remove Caicedo from the thumbnail, coach. Why are you saying that? Because you think we're not going to get the deal over the line? Remember, I told you this. I think we will get that over the line. Kim, so I appreciate you joining. I'd be worried if I don't see Modric. He's been the best on the right-hand side, but he's not been fit. He had a knock, we're told. And plus the under-21s, England went as far as the final, and they wanted to. So he needed a rest. And when it was time for him to join the fold, we learned that he was carrying a knock, so he had to, you could say, stay away from the. You can say he had to take more time to recover. The Saints, if Chelsea beat Liverpool, the possibility is there. Nice to see you again, the man. Fowler, I hope you're doing well. And Jerry Z says also the fact that they defeated United 3-2 makes the upcoming game even more delicious. Yeah, we have to beat them to prove a point. Why? I honestly cannot explain that. I just feel like we just have to beat them. Coach, let's be honest with ourselves. We are fighting for the title. Connie Chukwuemeka is not cut out for it. If we should be having stronger depth, or forget it, a preseason performance, he's very raw. Okay, that's your opinion right now. We're talking about the match. Big up to you, to Chelsea board. Hey, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for finding the time to join. Let's see what Ebuka has to say here. Chelsea will challenge for the league this season. I got the feeling that the vibe, the vibe, bad energy is building slowly. Really, mark my words. I'm not sure. There are two different, you can say, opinions there. Maybe we can win. We can win. Our backline needs improvement, including Kepa Arrizabalaga. We're looking to sign Robert Sanchez. I'm sure you're well aware of that, but we'll get into that in a bit. Transfer in a bit. Yeah, okay, let's look at what we have here and start addressing them immediately. If you look at this, I don't know if I should zoom out more if you can see my screen. Okay, there you go. Dortmund, okay, our last two meetings here. Okay, we've met how many times? Let me see, head-to-head, just 2 times. They've won 1. We've won 1. That's just at the Champions League last season. And the last game we played, we beat them 2-0 at the Bridge, and they beat us 1-0 in their stadium. And our last 5 games, 1-1 draw against Newcastle United. I think that was Premier League last season. Our last game of the season, we beat Wrexham 5-0, beat Brighton 4-3, drew 1-1 against Newcastle United, and beat Fulham 2-0. And for them, wow, they've won their last of 5 games. So They are in great form. It's not going to be an easy game. You could say it will be an even tougher game than the rest of the games we played during this preseason tour. Yeah, they beat. Let's say the clubs have beaten. The teams have beaten. They beat. Is it Westphalia? I can't even say the name. They beat them 7-0. They beat Oberhausen 3-2. Beat another German team 2-1. Beat Loyal SC Borussia beat them 6-0, and then beat United by 3 goals to 2. You can say they haven't played so much difficult opponents, but the good thing is that we've been scoring goals and they've been scoring goals too, but they've scored more goals than us. But we must bring into context the teams that they played. But let's see what happens. We get into the match lineup prediction immediately. So once we're through with it, then we'll talk about transfers. We have some items lined up to discuss. I'm sure DJ himself, he has a few lined up. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 51 likes. Let's get it to 100 and shoot for 200 as soon as possible. Do swap deal for Lukaku. I think that's going to happen. But we're talking we need to offload Cucurella. Let's see how the club handles that. Offload Lukaku. And I believe we now have what it takes to dismantle Dortmund. Tapiwa, Tenaro, I hope that happens. I want us to beat them. And the manager himself, during his again, when asked about the game, he sounds like he wants to win everything. And I remember one of his, the comments he made during his first interview that at Chelsea, no football match or no match is friendly. All serious games. We have to win every game. When we played Dortmund away, they were lucky to win. We missed a bunch of chances, and they defended for their lives. And Karim Adeyemi, that one counter-attack where Enzo was found wanting, they beat us 1-0 away, but at home we beat them convincingly. So we did show that we deserved to be the team of the two sides to progress to the next phase of the Champions League last season. Manchester United lost 3 games in a row. They will suffer this season. I wouldn't judge how a team would do during the season proper, given their performance in the preseason, but that is just my opinion. A Vlahovic injury record is a Fofana 2.0. We know what's next. But if that's the only way we're going to get rid of Lukaku, lots of fans want us to do that. Enzo Fernandez said that the target for this season is to win the Premier League. I did see that myself. So DJ, I'm going to come back to you. Do you think we would, by any chance, get a glimpse of the 11 that will start against Liverpool? When we play our first game against them in the Premier League, I would say yes, but it might not be that simple to figure it out, because it will be everywhere. Maybe half are starting the first half and then the rest are starting the second half. I think he will try to mix it to not give away too much. But your thoughts?
Yeah, I think tonight we will see that. I think we will see the team that possibly will be playing against Liverpool. I mean, I've done my team lineup already for you, Kucha. I've done. I think there's going to put 3 changes in the team from the last game. But I think that might happen part via one. And the reason why I made that one change is I think he might be rested for this game and come on as a substitute in the second half. Mm-hmm. But he will start against Liverpool. But yeah, I think, I mean, as I said, I think other than that, the team that we're going to put out tonight is more or less going to be what you probably will see against Liverpool, via some changes that might be made on just for tonight's game. But unless he starts with the 11, I think he's going to start with. And then he makes his changes in the second half, as he always does. But yeah, we've got to. I mean, obviously we wanted Caicedo to be part of that, but he's not. So we're going to have to go into that without him. So I know for me, Santos has to come in that midfield with Enzo Fernandez in that game. So I've got, as I said, I think though more or less though we all know the team that he's going to put out for the Liverpool game, I think.
Yeah, he's saying I think we're just gonna have fun here. But you and I agree. The truth remains there's no way we'll be able to predict the light starting 11 correctly. Because it will be a risk for him to say pick a lineup that will reflect the 11 that will start against Liverpool. He will find a way to disguise it or either by breaking the 11 into two, starting half during first half and half the rest during the second half, and then maybe play an indoor friendly before your Liverpool game to try the 11 the 11 that he will field against Liverpool together. But the truth remains, he will find a way to disguise his plans. He's not going to like anybody to look at his 11 and say, "Whoa, maybe this is the 11 that will. This will be the 11 that will start against Liverpool." But that's just my opinion. We cannot say a team will suffer based on preseason games. Yeah, I did say that. It would be again a fun to see them suffer, though. Yeah, I agree with you. A lot of people may sort of say, "Oh, on the Lukaku swap deal of Vlahovic deal." I hope we are not forced to pay a lot for a player with these problems with the thigh. Okay, with thigh problems, he's not worth 60 million pounds. With such problems, he is a high risk. We can agree, but the club may well look at it and see reasons not to see what you see as concerns the same. But that's just my opinion. The only two times we've had a terrible preseason. We finished 10th and 12th. United and Ten Hag are overrated only for style of playing. I think that's what you're saying there. Michael Neum saying, will Leslie Ugochukwu play against Dortmund? I'm not too sure. No. Maybe if he just wants to see him, I'm not too sure really. DJ, do you think Ugochukwu gets again a chance against Dortmund?
Do you know what, Kacha? I'd love to see it. I know he's travelled to the US to be around the squad, but I think we all know from what I'm hearing he's going to go straight out on loan to Strasbourg. So whether Poch decides to give him a try in this game, bear in mind we've got the Liverpool game next week. I doubt he could probably put him in this team. He's just going to stick with the team that he thinks, obviously the team and the squad that's going to play in that Liverpool game. So I can't see him coming in. He's probably obviously doing training sessions with the team, obviously introducing himself, obviously getting used to the players as well and everything, you know. But no, he's going to go straight on loan. But it'd be nice. I would like to see what he's like, though. See what he's like, what he's like, and what he can do in the Chelsea shirt. But unfortunately, it's not going to happen tonight.
How about Axel?
That's a different. I'm not sure of what the situation. I know Axel signed. Has he travelled to the US? I don't know about that one.
He hasn't travelled, and
no.
But he's completed his medical. Everything is signed. So again, what we're waiting for right now is just official announcement.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but I don't think he plays. But how about you?
No. I don't think he's going to play either in this game. I think he'll probably it'll be like the similar situation. I got to get this guy's name right. I don't want to butcher his name. I'm just going to call him Leslie. Is his name? Is it Leslie?
Leslie's his first name. You can call him Leslie Ugo.
Ugo. Okay, I'll call him Ugo because I don't want to butcher his name.
Yeah, Ugo is fine. Ugo yeah.
I'd like to see. I think Ugo is probably going to end up, as I said, like I said, it'll be the same thing with Desali. I think he's going to end up going. Well, he's going to stay, but he won't obviously start this game.
Yeah, let's see what happens there. Well, Leslie, again, we're not too sure. Even Axel won't play. And his is very clear. He hasn't actually trained with the team. I think he'll probably end up playing maybe the second or third game of the season. Should Mudryk be in the first 11 or over Starling? It should be a no-brainer. That's my opinion too. I think that should be 100%. The case. He's the future. And as I've said during the last game, what's his name? Raheem Sterling. He hasn't, again, I expect him to be leading by example. To lead, he has the experience, which means he should be able to lead by example and not, again, his behavior on and off the pitch. Beyond that, he has to lead with his performance, and all that. But like Roger said the other day, he looks lost for some reason, but I just don't know what's going on with him. I hope he comes good this season. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck with him for a while, or maybe end up terminating his contract because I don't see any club coming for him and willing, you can say, to up his salary. So it's not that simple. Seeing the mentality brought into Chelsea EPL is achievable. City won it by luck last season because Arsenal and Liverpool dropped the ball. Else, City was 8 points behind. Yeah, that's unbelievable, really. Strong guys lead from start to end. But they weren't strong enough. I am dying to find out who our new captain is maybe a time to announce today. If we and Silva start together, we will find out. They both start together. We'll find out. But I'm gonna go ahead to say he will be Thiago Silva for obvious reasons. He's the most experienced. He's been there, done that, seen it all, won everything. When he speaks, the dressing room will listen. So I feel like most definitely will be Thiago Silva with Reece James being his deputy. But let's see what happens. Sterling has been poor this season, but something tells me he will start on the left versus Liverpool because it's such a big game. I'd rather go with Maatsen. He's shown so much plus. Doesn't look scared. He doesn't look scared. More calm on the ball than the more experienced Raheem Sterling, and also he has good vision too. He's a good passer of the ball, and he has eye for goals really. So I'd rather him starting until you can say Raheem Sterling proves that he should be starting. I appreciate you joining. Thank you all for finding the time to join the show. Osita, Anthony, we'll still need a DM. We'll get to that in a bit. We'll talk transfer soon. We have quite a lot lined up, but right now we're talking about the game. What else was I going to ask DJ? DJ, let's go into it so that we can knock off the lineup building exercise and get into transfer. So I'm going to start with you right now. Between the six, certainly for me, Kepa starts, but I want to get your opinion. Do you think someone else starts?
No, Kepa needs to start in goal. We know he's going to be the goalkeeper at the start of the season, Kachilla. For me, he has to start in goal tonight.
And again, that doesn't mean you can say he will be our starting goalkeeper throughout the coming season. The season, I think we're looking to sign a goalkeeper, and even Raya. I think Raya could be again if he comes in. There's a chance he takes the number. He would take. Let me just be certain here. I think he takes the number one spot from Kepa Arrizabalaga.
Sanchez, you mean? Sanchez.
Robert Sanchez. Yeah, the Brighton goalkeeper.
Yeah, he will. I think he will.
Yeah, why do you think so? I think I've taken. Actually, I'm convinced. I'm starting to think he's actually good on the ball. His distribution is actually excellent, especially long balls. But you go ahead.
No, listen. I think he will. I know. I've heard Roger's comments yesterday when he was on, and a few others saying that they think, is he still raw, Sanchez, because of his stats from last season? Listen, I thought he'd done pretty well last season for Brighton. He's taller than Kepa, first of all. He's good with his feet. I think his distribution of the ball, as you said, is second to none. I think it's better than Kepa's. And for me, I think if he does come in, obviously my choice, as you know, Kachilla, has always been Diogo Costa. Has always been my choice to bring in, but I don't think we're going to get that deal over the line. That's only because of Slanina, who I think is going to come back next season. But for me, if it's Sanchez, then I actually do think he's a great goalkeeper, and I think going forward, I think he's better than Kepa. And
I think he is, from what I'm seeing. Maybe
he's taller as well, isn't he?
Yeah, go ahead.
He's taller as well, isn't he? From my understanding, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's taller. I think he's
which is what we need.
6'5". I think so.
I'll check
for you. Go ahead with what you were saying.
Yeah, and for me, I think that's vitally important for a goalkeeper. Obviously, good shot stopping for one, but you need a goalkeeper who's also, who's very, how would I say, he's what do you call? He's very concentrated in the box. He's someone who just grabs everything in the air. Someone who's just going to be, he'll make that position his. And I think for me, he's better than Kepa.
Yeah, and as Roger mentioned the other day, I'm not going to bring him in. Why did you just pop in here the moment I said his name? As Roger said the other day, Bobby will be proud of him, given that he commands his area very, very well. But let me see what we have here. If Chilwell is playing, Mudryk wouldn't be able to do those amazing things he can do. Let's see, 38 minutes of Liverpool 2, Bayern Munich 1. Okay, thank you for that update. If Sterling refuses to perform before January, he should be so. Here's the thing, selling Sterling isn't easy. That's one thing you have to understand. Something, again, has to give. You see that he agrees to take a pay cut and move to a club that can afford paying meeting our valuation of him, Sterling, to be specific there. Or we decide, we're better off, letting him go and, you can say, terminating his contract or coming to an agreement with him, paying him off, and he leaves. Otherwise, we're stuck with him. It's not easy. If you've been paying attention, if you can be economic with the truth, most of players who performed below par last season seem revitalized under Pochettino. We don't have too many of them. I think those that are left are actually the ones that actually did well. If you ask me, I'd like to see more of Enzo and Sanchez in the midfield partnership. We won't worry too much about Caicedo if the partnership works well against Dortmund tonight. We will. I think we will. Caicedo is a different profile, and Sanchez is a different profile himself. But that's, by the way, I'm going to go to Bobby. Between the six, I think we can agree. Kepa starts. We haven't signed a new goalkeeper. When that happens, and then we will again, we will go into that argument. But right now, it will be Kepa, and I don't think the manager is going to give any second choice goalkeeper in this particular game. That's the last preseason friendly. Maybe if they find again, maybe if he's going to play an indoor friendly where he fields the possible starting 11 against Liverpool so it's not public, so he can freely you can say play the 11 together and not be concerned that the opposition will know who will be standing for us. But between the sticks, do you agree Kepa Arrizabalaga starts?
Big up, guys.
Big up to you.
Yeah, big up to you, Bobby. Big up.
Pardon my bad manners. I hope you're still recovering well.
Hello, Bobby.
Hey, Roger, big up to you as well.
Hello.
In fact, the other night I had some very strong sort of sedating medicine, so I couldn't really stay up late at all. Coach, Kepa probably starts, but I beg to differ about the fact that he will, it's still a friendly and it's still pre-season. And I can see him still starting Kepa one half and maybe bringing on Lucas Bergstrom, who's been showing himself to be quite solid. So, and that wouldn't upset me. That's another 6'6" goalkeeper, like Robert Sanchez, who, yes, Roger is right. I'm very pleased with that. You need to be imposing physically in the Premier League. And this guy, I'm now sold on him. I hope we get him.
And he wants to come.
He does.
Very good, very good. And another thing that I'm very happy with is that Chelsea are being clever and they are looking to make him and Caicedo a package purchase, which could camouflage some costs and which could make the deal bulky enough to tempt Brighton even further. So I like this guy. I can't claim to know that much about him because I don't think Brighton is a team that I followed that closely. But from all the physical attributes and the things I've heard and the few games I've bothered to watch, I think he's perfect.
And he's actually quite good on the ball, Bobby. I've seen it. I've taken my time to look at it. His distribution, and especially, I'm gonna say it before do a tapping on Roger because I'm on side. His long balls are excellent, actually. But go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean the
flag is up.
Trying to say that the guy is no good with his feet, but that's an absolute lie. He's fine. And the best thing about him is that
Bobby, who are you talking about, sir?
He is somebody that can
Sanchez
probably take the number one shirt by earning it, and at the same time, if he just about gives enough incentive for people like Slonina, or I still say Lucas Bergstrom, to see if they can up their game and challenge him as well. So there's healthy goalkeeping competition. Look, why I talk about physicality and I understand the importance in the Premier League is, I've been watching football a long time, supporting Chelsea a long time. We were known to be an attractive side. We were always made fun of because we were the swashbuckling, fashionable side. But we've always been tough on the field. From the days of Ron Harris, even before him, the days of people like Terry Venables and George Graham, even further on to more modern times, Mickey Droy. You look at people like Dennis Wise, as small as he was a real tough nut in there. So we knew how to take care of ourselves. And I have to say, this past lot of Chelsea is perhaps the first lot I've ever seen getting themselves pushed around, beaten up, and bullied all over the field. That would
Soft.
never happen to us. Yeah, too soft.
Yeah.
Southern softies. That's what they would have called us back in the day. And boy, did we live up to that. So now that we're getting some physicality, Leslie Ugochukwu, Dasai C, coming in, plus the guys we've got, Chukwemeka, even people like Gallagher. You know, we've got people in there that aren't going to be pushed around. And although I wouldn't exactly describe Jackson and Nkunku as physical, but they're not guys that you can easily push around either. You know, they won't do the physical stuff, but they ain't going to get bowled over as easily as Havertz and João Felix and some of the likes that we've had. So I'm pleased with that. And that's very important if we want to make top four, if we want to, please God, start challenging for the Premier League title. I mean, you look at Man City, if there's one thing they are, is physical. You know, they can mix it up, physical, technical, everything. And that's the way to be. So I'm really happy with this guy. I hope we do this deal. I was more or less Diego Costa or nothing. But now I'm like, okay, let's go for this guy. I like the idea.
All right, I will come back to you for your back four before I move on to Roger. Just give me 1 minute. When I think about Chelsea pool, I see that the bunch of players we have might get overwhelmed by the occasion, as Liverpool players have been there many times. I hope they can handle it. I hope so, but let's see. Let's make money of Sterling. Okay. Bobby flags up. Okay. It will be our own undoing going into the season with Kepas as our first choice, but I don't think we'll have option now. Even if we sign what's his name, Robert Sanchez today, I don't think he comes in and takes the number one spot immediately. Horrific festivity believes a lot of people. Musole Kepa is not built to be a goalkeeper. He's bank average at best. Okay, I'm worried every time the opposition have a set piece or even a shoot. Wow, some argument right there. And that is from who? Relaxation Nation. I appreciate you joining. I hope you're doing well. That kid, Santos, is a beast. I think he's a good player too, Mr. Julius. So I appreciate you joining. More importantly, Julius, I hope you're okay. Okay, thank you for that update there. The boys will be more again hungry when the season starts. That's how I see it too. Don't you think the role of captain in football is overhyped? You must be more aware of cricket, where a lot depends on captain. But football, captain seems to be more of a formality. I don't think so. I think, for instance, when there's more like, let me say, when there's a brawl on the pitch and when there's an issue on the pitch, usually the captain can go talk to the referee without getting into trouble. So you have somebody, you could say, what's the term I'm looking for? Somebody whose job it is when there's, say, some sort of problems, or some sort of issue on the pitch. You don't have the whole team rush to the referee. The captain goes and speaks with the referee and can say, I think that was a foul. You should go check it on the VAR. But once the whole team goes to the referee, they create a problem. The referee can be overwhelmed. You can force him to try get him to, again, to out of, you can say, emotions, try to show you that he's the one in control. But when he speaks with the captain alone, it is one-on-one conversation. He listens to the captain, and the captain listens to him. And it can, it's, I think, I don't think it's just a formality, in my opinion. The leadership in tactics come from the manager. Honestly, captain in football are overhyped. I wouldn't go to the extent of saying that. Dr. Nkunku is going to score again. I hope he scores. If we can beat Liverpool, there's no reason why we cannot go for the title challenge with no European football. Why we are saying top 4, top 5, why not aim high? It's not up to me. I just know that we'll do better than a lot of people expect us to do. So, Bobby, let's go for your back 4. The 4 defenders, you go ahead. Pick your 4, then Roger will look at it, and I'll come back to DJ whether he agrees or disagrees. If we have any disagreement, then those in the chat will help us decide. Go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah, okay, to start, this is just a start. For me, goalkeeper, I would take Lucas Bergstrom, but I know Poch will start with Kepa. Left back, I would have Lewis Hall, but I know Poch will do either
Okay.
Cucurella or
Yeah, we're here
Chilwell.
Okay, go ahead. Who starts on the left? Who do you think Poch starts
I think he'll start Chilwell
on the left?
on the left. As I said, I would go with Lewis Hall, but he'll go either Cucurella or Chilwell. I'm not sure which of the two. Centre backs, left centre back. We have to do our new signing because he feels like a new signing. Levi Colwill. We've got to get him to stretch his legs and show what he can do a bit more. I'm very
He
certain.
needs more match fitness.
Yeah, and he needs more match fitness, and especially with Liverpool coming up, and he's likely to play. I'm very sure Poch will at least start him. He also said he needs to see him. The interesting one is right back. I don't know if Desassi is there yet, and it's maybe too early to give him a run out. Chalobah,
That's CC.
Desassi,
The one we signed from Monaco, the centre back.
Yeah, Axel. Each time I hear the word Axel, I think of a film with Eddie Murphy.
Axel Foley. Axel Foley. Yeah.
Axel Foley.
You remember that?
Oh, wicked. Beverly Hills Cop.
DJ,
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop, brother. The tune itself is bad. I love the tune in that.
Yeah,
it's a funny film.
Anyway, I don't want to digress. So the right back is interesting. People would say use Thiago Silva. I don't want to. I would rather if Chalobah is fit, let's see a Chalobah, a Colwill pairing, or if I see that he starts Humphreys again, then I'm going to have a nagging suspicion that Humphreys is going to stay in the squad, to be honest, and he will be out of place. So who will he start? I think he'll probably start. Knowing him, he'll probably start Silva, but I would start Chalobah, and of course the right back.
But we're going for who you think he starts. You think he's going to be Silva, right?
He'll probably start Silva, just to start, and there'll be changes. Right back.
Just quickly, Bobby. Let me ask you this. Do you think for certain, there are certain players, whether you like it or not, Liverpool they know quite well that those players will start. I don't think he will try to hide that. Maybe the only thing he'll try to hide will be the structure, but go ahead.
We know that, it's only high percentages, isn't it? And he said it himself, unless something happens, Colwill will start. On the left back, we don't know. It could be Cucurella or Chilwell. The right centre back, we still don't know. So there's some starters that he doesn't even know. So forget Liverpool. If we're sitting down here thinking, oh, this is the starting level 11 against Liverpool, I think that's just not the right way to look at things. Even Liverpool themselves don't know for sure who their full starting 11 is because they've changed their midfield. So I would relax about that. It's not really too much of an issue. He has 10 days after this game to prepare his tactics, prepare his team, and bring them out for Liverpool. And he's fully aware of that, and he alluded to that in his press conference. Right back, as I was saying, it will be Reece James. Now, I don't want to start rumours, but a little bird has told me that the captaincy is going to be James and Silva. It's almost like stating the obvious. Silva, the captain, James, the vice captain. Now,
here's what we're going to do, Bobby. Let's go through the lineup, then we'll bring back. We'll come to the captaincy debate if you want to.
Yeah, I don't know for certain, but I hate all that. But there are, as DJ knows, you do get to know some people in and around the club, and
I heard the same, Bobby. I've heard the same.
Yeah, yeah. It seems a bit obvious, really. But
what's that?
We don't need Einstein to help us there.
Yeah.
Bobby, please. What were you saying? Can you reiterate that?
Captaincy, Thiago Silva and
James and Reece James, vice captain and captain. It's going to be like that, one or the other.
Yeah. Thiago Silva's got to have either James or Chilwell with him anyway because of the English factor and the media factor. He's an intelligent man in himself, but his English command and his understanding of the culture is not really quite there. He's better on the field, and off the field stuff will be James and Chilwell for sure. That's what I'm hearing. I can't, bet my house on it.
You're not saying that for certain.
No, I can't until it happens. You can't.
Yeah.
It's
All right,
much
Roger,
a slam
I'll
dunk.
come to you in a bit. We're seeing Bobby's back four and Kepa there. That's not his preference. That's what he believes. The players
I
that he believes.
understand.
So I'll come to you in a bit. Oktash CFC, I appreciate you joining. And he's saying Chilwell, Silva, and for Bain, marvelous back four. Kepa, Cucurella, okay, Kepa in goal, Cucurella left back, James right back, Silva and Colwell centrally. I agree with the two players, the centre backs for you. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Who is our captain? We'll get to that argument. The debate. I think it will be a delicious debate indeed. Hopefully, we'll have time enough. He is Disasi, not Daisisi. I used to mix that up myself because from afar, if you don't look closely, the spelling can lead to you pronouncing it as a second name you have mentioned there. And Cleve, Mamuta, I appreciate you joining. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I hope Disasi gets more playing time than Silva, though. That may well happen, but I think the transition is going to be gradual. We're not just going to drop Silva out of the team because we have Disasi. But let's see what happens here. Kachila, if the role of captain is to beat up the referee, then we must have Lukaku on the bench with clear responsibility to jump onto the referee every time he whistles. I just want to say something. Glenn reached out to me last night. He told me there's a chance he wouldn't be again. You can say he would be missing a few shows here and there because he has a condition. I asked him if it's okay with me discussing it with the community. He hasn't responded, so I have to be cautious. I can't say everything, but just pray for him that he recovers or that he overcomes whatever it is that he's going through. Like as I said, I did ask him if he's okay with me sharing the story with you, but he hasn't responded. That's why I can't say everything right now until I hear back from him. But I hope he's recovering well. I will keep praying for him. Santos and Enzo pivot, that would be good. I like Santos quite a lot. Rain, how are you doing, Rain? I appreciate you joining. Guys, the Sassy is not announced yet. He won't play. Even if it's announced, I don't think he'd play against Dortmund. No, that's too soon. I don't think he plays actually until maybe around the second or third game of the season. It's not, except if something happens to one of the starting players we have. It's not evident that Silva will take the captaincy. It could be Reece James, and maybe Silva himself would want Reece James to start from now on, or maybe Reece James himself will, out of respect, say, let Silva keep it. Then when he's not there, I'm good to go. Because they have a good relationship, both men. Hello to you too, Kevin Morilla. I don't like the way Cucurella runs. Or you don't have to. And I don't know why you don't like how he runs. How about how Raheem Sterling runs? What afternoon to you too, brother. I hope you're doing well. Unless Chilwell has marinated Pochettino well for the captaincy. I think he's kicked off his campaign. He wants to be the captain too, but it wouldn't make sense if he gets it and not Reece James. Chilwell, Colwell, Silva, James, Kepa. I think that's what I think is going to happen there. But that's just my opinion. And Kutsila, how many players can Chelsea send on loan? I think it's 7 at max. Is that the number, Roger?
I believe so.
Okay,
yeah.
Ugochukwu may well get a chance. That's why we will have issues, because given Mauricio Pochettino's comments that again the coaching team will assess Ugochukwu to see maybe whether he stays or not. That means he gets to play. You cannot just assess him on the training ground alone. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, anything new? Says Ugochukwu on the bench maybe. I think he'll get some minutes. How long? I don't know. Good wishes to my bro, Glenn. Get Wilson, bro. We will hold up the front end won't let the banter slow down. Waiting for you getting back to soon. I hope he gets back. Much love to him. Much again, I respect him so much. And by the way, he had a bit of let me just call it a mix-up with Bobby. And as he was telling me the problem, what he was going through, he said, just let Bobby know everything that happened. Again, between you and him was just out of passion. You both love the club. That he apologized. It's not usually like that. It was just, again, Bobby, I know you too well, and I told him I'm sure you've moved on from it. We all love the club, and again, occasionally we do have that. Again, we do experience that moment where you see some outbursts for somebody you didn't know. Has that in or had that in him, which is natural. We're all humans. Nobody is perfect. Much love to him.
I've moved on from that. That's not.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
And it's not new to you.
Yeah. I think in the past I've done battle with coach himself. So I'm such a Chelsea. I have to make it 100% clear. I am so 150 million% biased Chelsea that I go to war for Chelsea even if I see somebody wearing a red colour and walk in front of me.
That's so ambiguous, Bobby. Yeah. Tell me how you really feel.
No, but more importantly, these things happen. Again, driven by the passion we have for the club. We love Chelsea Football Club. So every now and then, actually, there was a day if I was standing in front of Roger, he'd punch me. No,
I wouldn't go that far.
But I'm just kidding. Anyway, I'm
you might be surprised to know I've had a disagreement with Roger as well. I think over the goalkeeping front. So
but you guys have again such an effective way to present an argument against each other that the other one already before they get you can say before they blow up, they have a bucket of ice on them.
No, they already.
My twin brother, so it's
I know. You guys have
my brother from another mother.
Yeah.
All right. This says they should include installing a swap in the Caicedo goalkeeper deal. Do you think they want them? No, they don't. That's my opinion. 3 players per club. In one club, again, I understand that, but 7 at max leaving a club again and out on loan for. I think that's the case actually. Bayern, okay. Let's see, Namaya. I hope you're doing well. If you notice, Silva and Reese both stood aside the trophy, and then Silva removed his hand and pointed to Reese James to pick it up. Interestingly, so again, I think it will be. That's an interesting observation right there. It makes it even more difficult to conclude. You know what? To conclude that Silva gets it. But I see a situation where, out of respect, Reece can say, "If you're on the pitch, I want you to keep it." And I see Silva also wanting, you can say, to help lead. You can say teach Reece James how to lead because some are natural born leaders, some aren't, some has to learn how to lead, if that makes sense. Let's see what else we have there. Anything else? But that's an interesting observation there from Code Web. Roger the GOAT. Wow. Okay, I haven't seen that.
Checked in the mail.
Yeah. Without due respect, if Al Hilal pays Bobby £1 million to forget Chelsea,
Bobby be challenging
I bet he would do that. That is tempting, really. But I'm gonna move on from that. Coach, is it true Chelsea don't want Vlahovic? I would say no one. He's injury prone.
I would just pretend and take the money.
Excellent answer, Bobby.
I like that one. Nobody will know whether you still support Chelsea or not, except if you tell them. But that's my delicious, Bobby. That's a delicious response to that question, really. And I appreciate that. But Roger, let's come to you. You're back for. Do you agree with Bobby, or do you disagree with any of his? Again, the players. Again. Remember, we're trying to predict Mauricio Pochettino's selection. This is not our preferred lineup, but what we think he'd do.
Sure. Gentlemen, a pleasure as always. I don't think he's going to... Yeah, likewise, gentlemen. He's probably going to choose Chilwell, Colwell, I'm not sure he chooses Silva. I think he wants to save him for wear and tear. Maybe he comes on in the next, or let's say he goes off at half time. He's not going to play him the whole game. But I actually think they're going to use start Gusto.
In the right back?
Yeah, I have a feeling.
Here's something that doesn't make it easy, Roger. If you watch his press conference, he says everything that sounds as if he wants to start the best 11, the strongest 11 against any team because he wants to win every game. He doesn't want to lose any game. Yeah. That makes it difficult for you to come and say, okay, you know what? Because he said this, I'm going to pick the strongest 11. But and then when the match starts, you see a mix of 19-year-olds and the veterans. But you go ahead with what you were saying, Roger.
Yeah, because he has to say that to a certain extent. I don't think he's going to publicly say, we're just going to go out there and experiment, and if we lose 7-0, it's okay. It's only pre-season. That diminishes his credibility with the effect that he wants to win everything. So that's a very PC statement, and I get it. And you know what? Listen, there are people that are so competitive in sports, in NFL, like the famous quarterback, John Elway, and those kind of people. They didn't like to lose at dominoes or playing cards. They were so competitive with their teammates, no matter what they do. So I think this is what the great players are. They just can't switch it off. They want to win no matter what it is. And so that's what, and I understand that. That's what he's saying. Listen, I agree. I would like to see either Slonina or Bergstrom in goal for at least the first half, because I'd like to see more of them. I want to see what they're like in real game time experience. This is pre-season. It's like, yeah, I understand goalkeepers need to be sharp and get ready for the upcoming new season, but it's not like he's never, like Kepa or whomever, has played. And by the way, with regards to the other goalkeeper from Brighton, what I stated is that, in fact, I actually was diminishing Kepa, where I said that you can't look at his statistics for the goal save percentages, because a lot of them were the equivalent of very slow back passes. And I said, listen, the one thing about Kepa is good is if you look at all the keepers last year from Man U, from Liverpool, etc., they all made several mistakes that led to goals, whoppers if you want. But Kepa hasn't done that. Now, he's due for one soon, but he is pretty, shall we say, consistent with his short game passing for the most part. I really mean that. Now, this is it Martinez? It's a South American name. This chap, I believe,
Sanchez. I think Sanchez. It's Spanish.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But he has, I believe, the Premier League record for the most completions by a goalkeeper in a game, and I believe it was against Man City.
Wow.
So, yeah, really? I'm not diminishing his capability. His long ball is very accurate. So is
Did you know you were the one that got me to go take my time and research that?
And
his long, and he adds pace to the long balls too, but still it gets to its intent. They do get to their respective intended destinations, actually. But go ahead.
Coach, I'm not called the GOAT for nothing, No, I'm kidding.
And you're not the chairman of the Goalkeepers Union for nothing, too. Yeah.
No. Honestly, sorry to cut in, but do you know what? I really hope Kepa doesn't make an error, because his deficiencies are so profound and make him already not everybody's favorite choice. That if
I agree.
He's going to get slaughtered if he does, and I hope he doesn't.
Bobby, you are spot on, old bean, as usual. You're right. He's got some deficiencies that are noteworthy, to put it mildly, and that is his aerial capability. And I'm the first to say that. He should be dominating his box, but in Spain, that is not the case for the most part. Those keepers don't come out and dominate. Look at, De Gea the first year. He couldn't catch a cold. So, listen, but Sanchez's mid passing range is excellent also, but short. He loses concentration, and he has been culpable of making a few faux pas that have led to goals.
I'd say that can be improved upon.
No, I'm not denying that, Coach. I'm just stating what has transpired historically. And so listen, he's a great shot stopper and so forth. And when it comes to Chelsea, if we're gonna be in games where we dominate, then he has to keep concentration, because one of the hardest things to do is to not be involved in the game. Then all of a sudden, at the end of the game or end of the half, because you're not involved a lot. You switch off and you concede a goal. That's very important. So this is what he needs to. And listen, that can be trained. That can be coached. You know, it could be encouraged, etc.
And just quickly, Roger, I get it. He will try again, find ways to, you can say, to disguise again, and not to give away whatever he intends to do against Liverpool.
Yeah.
But if you pay attention, I think if you pay attention and analyze the starting 11, who played where and who played close to who, you can get an idea that certain players will start.
Right. So I actually think, can I just quickly finish this back four? I think Colwell, possibly Silva, but I think Chalobah, and then Gusto, I think. For left back, I would like to, I think he starts Chilwell, but I would love to see either Hall or, what's his name? I'm trying to think of his name. Ian Maatsen play there. Yeah, Maatsen. Just, I would love those two.
I think Maatsen's going to be in the middle of the field.
Yeah, or right winger. Yeah, I get it. But I would just like to see him play there, just for once, in his natural position. So that's what I would like to see. In fact, this is my opinion. I would like to see Hall play there more than Maatsen, you know, just to see, just for
once.
I'd
rather Hall, because it's traditionally midfielder and Maatsen isn't.
Colwell, Humphreys and Gusto. That would be mine. And probably Slonina or Bergstrom in goal. That would be my pick, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Hopefully, let's get through this as soon as we can and address the transfer items we'll have lined up. Let's see what else we have here. This is do not that guy Andre linked to Liverpool is good. Okay, we have the momentum. The momentum and this game needs to be taken seriously to carry the momentum into the season. So that may well again be the fact that we would want to go into the season again. We would want to win the last game of the preseason and go into the season proper with the momentum. That may well lead to him starting a strong 11, but you never know. But he's still, even if that happens to be the case, he still find a way again to disguise what he intends to do against Liverpool. Okay, Malo Gusto and Axel Disasi are very spicy up front, and I'm worried, Reece James. For Reece James, I'm not worried. If anything, he has a good competition. He has to prove that he's the better of the two players to get to become the starter there. But let's see what happens. We can always rotate them. The issue is that we don't have European assignments this season, so we have so little game to play. That the manager it'd be difficult to keep them all happy, but we'll see what happens. We need to get rid of Lukaku and Ziyech as soon as possible. I think that will happen. Big up to this channel, big up to you to Realization Nation. Drop the likes, people. Let's go. Yep, we're getting closer to 100 likes. 6 more to get there, and then we shoot for 200 and even more. Nemaya says, what did he say? Is there? Okay, talking to Rain and Rashi, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Is our last preseason. Then next week we play against Liverpool, so we have to win. Hall is going out on loan. I don't know yet, but it will pain me if that happens. Chelsea Blue, morning panel and coach. Coach, one youth player I liked and believe he has a future is Humphreys. Very good player for his age, and he is composed his composure on the ball. He's as cool as ice on the ball. Even if he has 2 players or opposition players on him, he still find a solution. And you look up and say, how did he do that? There's a chance he stays, but if he's going to stay and only play sporadically in just one game here and there, 15 minutes here and there, that's not going to be good for his development. I've learned not to be selfish, no matter how much I like that academy player. I've learned I've come to I followed their progress long enough to realize sometimes the best thing to do is always to let them go out on loan and get as much game time as needed to continue developing as young players that they are. Big up to you too, Santiago Muno. I hope you're doing well. Okay, you just responding to someone there. Felix Johnson says Colwell long balls when Mudryk runs in behind. Yeah, we will be there. I think it's believable. Big up to you too, Prince Moabs. He says, I think this game we should start with the B squad. Then second half, we'll try our strongest team. That should start against Liverpool. I don't see him fielding the whole 11 at the same time. I think again, because of he wouldn't want to give too much away. He'd find a way to disguise it to a certain, maybe a considerable measure, to the extent that you will not be able to say, okay, I think this will be the whole 11. But for sure, Liverpool will know certain players will most likely start. It's common sense. But that's by the way. We'll move on to this one here. Hi, Coach. Hi to you to B Brian 19 at 190,000 per week. Kepa has to do better and not look like a backdoor goalkeeper. Wow, I think I know who's speaking now. The backdoor guy. Martin, I appreciate you joining. Looks like you're not at work today.
Yeah,
I
big
take
up.
that. But how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. And big up everyone and everyone in the chat as well.
I appreciate you, bro. Much love to you. What do you make of the back four? Do you think that will be the starting back four we'd see on the day? We'll see later
Hello,
today.
Martin.
Yes, hello. I would rather Malo plays at right back, but this is spot on as well.
Oh, so you like the back four? You like the selection there?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. The 2-6 is there, and there's a chance. And now, what's his name? Ugo is available. Leslie, if you prefer. Given Mauricio Pochettino's comments, they'd like to see him play. He used the word assess, which means he has to play. Do you think he starts, or do you think he gets a chance in the second half, or do you think Pochettino will look at it and say, okay, I've looked at other players, but him not so much. I've seen him in training, but I need to see him play a game. Maybe I think he starts. I wouldn't be surprised if he plays 90 minutes actually. But your thoughts? The 2-6s.
Yeah. So first thing, he's just had the first training yesterday. So you have another, light work today because of the game being later on today.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he would be tactically ready for Poch in that way to start. So I think he might come off the bench last 20 minutes, 30 minutes, put in a good shift, and then we'll see how he adjusts to the team.
So what are the 2-6s for you?
Moving on from the last game, Enzo and Caicedo. This is because it's still down to the discussion we had about profiles and making sure that we have two center midfielders that are good in the first phase and then defensively sound in both halves.
But more importantly, they have to complement each other.
Yes. But then there is the argument that if Ugochukwu is here, it means we can actually play Enzo and Santos, and then we can take one of them out and then still let Ugo fill in for the person. So I only wish he came in earlier, like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, give us more time to assess him and see our options. But yeah, I think it would be a Caicedo Enzo, but Santos Enzo is also a strong possibility as well.
Yeah, it's a difficult one there. But I'm going to come to you, Roger. The 2-6s. Again? Let me plug in the names. Enzo on the left or right, Martin?
From the last game, Enzo was mainly on the right.
Okay, I'm keeping that. And who was the other player you picked? Caicedo?
But if it's Caicedo, then it would be the reverse.
Okay, but who did you select? The second person?
Santos.
Okay, that's what I'd go with. I think again, and if you see how they on the day, I think Santos was the more disciplined of the two. He was charged to protect the back line mainly. Enzo ventured forward more. I think it was a good actually pairing there. It worked it worked well. But I'm going to go to Roger in a bit after getting this. Sorry, Kuchila. Okay. No problem, bro. But thank you for finding the time to join. Let's see what else we have here. Hall should go out on loan in a Premier League club for game time and improvement. I hope if he's going to leave on loan, let it be to a club where he gets to play week in, week out and continue development. The worst against Liverpool should be a draw. Most likely it will be a draw because we played, it's been quite, again, lots of draws against Liverpool in recent years. Yeah, but that's, by the way, Roger, the 260s for you. Who do you think Pochettino will select? What are the players you think and that he's going to select?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much nailed on. I'm not sure whether he would go with an experimental midfield. You never know. This could be a completely starting 11, what we anticipate versus Liverpool. Well, this can be a complete experiment where you're seeing a bunch of people that we know are going to go out on loan or development squad. I have no idea. Could be a mixture. With this chap, one doesn't know. I think that's a safe assumption, though, because they need to, listen, play 45 minutes, but get an understanding of each other. They need to build, because these are all new players for the most part and a new coaching staff. So it's not, if they've been together for 3 or 4 seasons, then no, that wouldn't transpire. But because of the fact that everything is new, then I think it really does behoove them to at least start for 45 minutes plus.
Yeah,
so I think that's a safe assumption. Yeah, that's. I mean, Santos, for the first time, in my opinion, he played better than the Italian. Yeah, Caicedo. But I thought Caicedo had actually, Cesar Caicedo had actually played better than Santos the first 2 or 3 games, or at least equal to. But I think for the first time, he didn't look composed, and he looked out of sorts, Caicedo, the last match for the first time.
He looked again. He looked raw than usual.
Raw.
Again,
Yeah,
he didn't look like he's
but as I said, I thought Santos hadn't played as well as Caicedo in the previous games for the most part. So,
but here's the thing, Roger. Even those games where Santos didn't play well, he still does quite a lot in terms of protecting the defensive line.
I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying, though, you can't judge a person by one game. For instance, if Caicedo had played better than Santos and Santos had lost, you'd be saying you can't judge him on one game. So the same goes both ways. But listen, it doesn't matter. Either or, this is a great problem to have, Coach. It's like, Coach, what am I driving today? The Aston or the Ferrari? It's a good problem to have. Gabish.
The analogy, right?
Yeah. Sorry, Coach.
No, just Martin is killing himself with laughter there. He couldn't speak either.
Good problem to have, old Beam.
But the profiles, though, the roles, I feel like the roles are very different, and I think people are getting it a bit mixed up.
No, that's true. The profiles are quite different, actually, when you look at them.
And the good thing about Santos is he's been consistent at his role in, throughout the preseason.
Yeah.
Even when he had looked underwhelming, you still wouldn't notice that he's still the main one bringing out the ball from the first phase,
and doing a lot to protect the defensive line.
Yes, that's the dark art.
That was the things that stood out to me. So that was why I said even during those games, he underperformed. I still value those aspects of the game, knowing that may well be the reason why he ends up staying and not being sent out on loan. But go ahead, Martin.
Totally agree. Hey, listen, can I just quickly inject? If in 10 years' time we look back and we don't see a really successful career by Santos, I will be so shocked. His ceiling is so high.
He's way much beyond his age. Go ahead, Martin. Yeah. Sorry, tapping is Roger's thing, not me.
That's fine. That's fine. And just the fact that Coach has trusted him throughout the entire preseason to to play in the first phase. Like, I feel like that's huge. I felt like would still depend on Enzo, but he's freed up Enzo for the most part, and it's a lot. There's a lot of responsibilities, and he's done well. So it's pretty much nailed on to stay, unless something drastic happens or an injury or something. But Caicedo, is a bit more experimental. He can play in the 10. He can be more advanced. Can be exciting, and he would also have a really, really, really good career. But it's just the roles are different.
Yeah, it's not. It's if you pair him with, for instance, pair him with Enzo, it will be that sort of pairing where we had Kovacic and Enzo Fernandez. We see. I think it was just how many on how
Yeah,
many occasions I don't remember. They were excellent offensively, but defensively, we had quite a lot of problems whenever you can. They start as a 2-6s. Yeah, it's not a good
Can I
balance.
ask, Coach? Can I
Yeah.
ask, hypothetically, if Santos and the Brighton player Caicedo aren't
Cowell, Caicedo.
Caicedo are not on the team, who would be your starting sixes? In other words, quote unquote, rotational / backup players for these two
If they both
positions.
are not, I'd go with Ugochukwu and Enzo.
yeah.
Yeah, one being
No.
again
If
traditionally
Enzo,
a defensive midfielder, which means he will be charged to be more disciplined than the other. Then Enzo will have the independence to be more adventurous on the pitch.
okay, and
He's a fine creator and can get you goals too. Yeah, go
who,
ahead.
who comes on for Enzo to replace him in the 70th minute or whatever?
Here's the thing. I'm gonna be open right now with you. Casadei, I wouldn't mind if he stays, but he's not gonna stay. I see him going out on loan. So the question is now
Yeah,
again,
I agree.
as we but that's just my opinion. We'll see. As again, we'll find out. We'll learn more. Given how the managers start to use them, I think right now we're just speculating. We're not too sure. There's no pattern to what. Again, we're not too sure. With again, you can say we haven't figured out the pattern to his preferred approach. But we will. Just a few games into the season, we'll learn so much about him. As things start, Chelsea are not convinced of making a move for Vlahovic, but we may end up just doing it because that's the only way to get rid of Lukaku. We have to. Big up to you too, Chelsea, all the way. I appreciate you joining. I hope you're doing well. Smash the like button, people. 106 likes. You people are absolute legends. I appreciate you all. Let's get it to 200 as soon as possible. What do we have here? No experiments. He should bring on the strongest 11. I get it. He will find a way to balance it out. That even if he's again decided to you could say to select certain players to still look at them more, I think he'd be cautious again, not to make too many changes or not to experiment too much to not end up losing the game. So, but let's see what happens. No matter what he does, no matter how hard he tries to conduct again his intent against Liverpool, if you take your time to analyze how what player played close to what player and the changes he made, I think you'd be able to say, yeah, that's most likely the 11 that will start against Liverpool, but it won't be easy. It would take some analysis to come to that conclusion. Let's see what else we have here. Amazing news of Vlahovic would have been, again, a terrible move. It's not over yet. It could still happen, really. Chelsea don't want to pay the current figure requested by Juventus. Yep, they're trying to knock it down. Juventus also, the only way of getting Lukaku will be to give us Vlahovic because they don't have money. They have a financial issue. Kimuhu, I appreciate you joining, bro. How are you doing, brother? I hope you're doing well. Big up, people. Please share this content and support this channel. Yep, let's grow the community. And this one here says Chelsea don't want to pay the current figures requested by Juventus. I think we've addressed that. Of course, Rashid, you're having a conversation there with him. Will Caicedo start against Liverpool if we sign him 1 week before the season starts? I doubt that, in my opinion, honestly. But I'll bring back this question the moment we're done. I'll highlight it. I'll bring it back the moment we're done with the lineup prediction exercise. Manu and again, did you say an Arsenal are finished? Okay, Manu and Arsenal. You're thinking. Let's hope there will not be stage fright. I don't think there will be stage fright because of their age. Wow. Being that most of them are just new in the Premiership, I don't know, but you're starting to get me concerned right now. Roger, which one is a Ferrari and which one is Aston Martin? Based on the similarities, would you compare Lukaku to Kama's truck? Wow.
A Pinto.
Yeah, as soon as possible, coach, we need Pinto. He said Lukaku sold Ziyech. Those players, I don't think they're not going to stay. We'll eventually sell them. Ziyech is slowly turning into a ladder. Maybe that may well be the case. So Roger, I think have you spoken about the 2 6s?
Yes, a larder.
Okay.
That's pretty funny. That's really
Let's
funny.
come to you, Bobby. The 2 6s, your opinion. What again? The parent there for you. Who do you think starts? The players you think will start there?
Yeah, I mean, I listened very carefully to Pochettino's press conference,
Yeah.
and he won't start with Caicedo. He spoke a lot about the fact that players have been playing every 3 days, all the travelling, and those finer details. So I think his midfield three will be, and I say three because he will have to start anyway, Enzo, Santos, and Gallagher. Gallagher for the defensive qualities. I know people don't quite believe it, but you better believe it. He's working on using Gallagher, amongst other things, as one of the sixes. And he does have some positives. I know people don't like him. He's like Marmite, but he's very effective to the team. And I think to start, he will start those three. Maybe we'll see Caicedo a bit later. Maybe he may choose to drop Carney a little bit further back and see him a bit later. It all depends on his front three as well. But I think to start with, his midfielders, including the pivots, will be Enzo, Santos, and Gallagher. The Enzo Santos partnership is something I'm keen on because there was a definite drop in class when they both went off and Gallagher and Caicedo were left against Fulham. Even though we still dominated the game and we still did a few different things, I don't know how much attention to detail fans are looking at, but that period of time where he insisted on the team playing it short, playing it short, playing it short, I think he was working on something, and we were under a lot of pressure at that time. I think what he was trying to work on was for us to be able to deal with that pressure and use short passes to play out of the press. Did it work? Marginally. Will he do it again? I believe he will, because just as Roger said, we can't lose sight of the fact, and certainly Pochettino won't, that this is ultimately a pre-season friendly.
It's what do you make about what do you make of his comments with regards to something to the effect of the coaching staff will assess Ugochukwu, which means he has to play.
Now, I
Yeah.
didn't mention Ugochukwu because
Yeah, you did not. He has to play. And again, go ahead, Bobby.
he could play. I'm not saying he has to play because remember, if you listen to Pochettino's press conference, he alluded a lot to physical conditioning, the stress on the players in terms of playing too much and so on. However, Ugo's just arrived and he did say, look, we will assess him. And he was asked, will he play? He said, no, we're not sure. We'll assess him. He might get a run out maybe later on in the match. It's certainly not going to start. He's certainly not going to come on after halftime. He's probably going to get something like 15 minutes towards the end. That's how I see it, if he comes on at all. I think he will come on because Poch will probably like to see his responses in a match situation, and this is the time to do it. But to start him, I think, will be too much of a reach. You know, he might surprise me and think, oh, this guy's ready, I'll throw him on. But somehow that doesn't seem to me the way Poch would work.
Again, how I see it, if he says they need to assess him, then decide whether he stays or leaves. That's why I use the word has. Maybe we'll see what happens. I need to see him. He's the only of all the players on Chelsea's books. He's the only traditional DM. Others are either hybrid or maybe CM fulfilling the DM role and all that. But he
Coach, remember, Poch will need to put him through the gangoon as well. You know, that those are all part of the assessments, even more so than match day assessments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a difficult one. Martin, did you talk about him? Did you talk about Ugo getting a chance?
Yes, in the second half. Well, I don't think it will be anything serious in that way. I think it's more like just giving him some minutes to, see where his fitness is at, and then they decide on him privately, because I don't think there's, enough time or days to be tactically, ready for what Poch will expect from his team. So yeah.
Yeah, okay. Let's see what happens. I did this Chelsea perspective says a horrific festivity. I appreciate you. I glad say you did Badu and make you enjoy it very well. Chaloba will leave. It looks like it, but we'll get to transfers in a beat. Let's see what else we have here. Michi, and again, if you're watching, you can click the 3 dots to Michi Boy's name. Go check out his channel. Be sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you. Great channel. Not to forget, you can say lots of great panelists are there. Roger there, sometimes even Bobby there. Sometimes Bobby, if Gallagher starts again a new 45 million if Gallagher starts, okay, a new 45 million pounds bid from West Ham is coming. On a serious note, Caicedo and Gallagher need a top team loan. They will struggle for game time again. When the season in this season, E.G. Cho regress on CFC bench. You could argue that too.
Can I respond
Yeah.
to that?
Go ahead, Bobby.
As far as that's concerned, Caicedo, yes, because he needs to maybe be where he'll be pushed to play game in, game out. Gallagher, no. Gallagher is more mature in terms of his playing experience, and he will get game time on the Poch. I think he stays. I think if you drop 45 million, Chelsea will say no, because we're looking towards 50, if anything at all. And the way things are going and the way Poch has been talking, even in his press conference, I think he likes Gallagher and I think he wants to keep him, and I hope he does.
We'll see what happens. If anything, if it's not going to keep him, I don't think he goes out on loan. I think he leaves. If it turns out he will leave Chelsea, he will be on a permanent, not on loan. I agree with brother on the panel. Gallagher will feature until we bring in Caicedo. R3 in midfield will be Enzo, Sanchez, Gallagher, which means Nkunku will be on the left with Carney, Modric on the bench. Wow. And Rido, nice to see you. I appreciate you. I hope you're doing well. And Kimuhu TV, I appreciate you joining, brother. Thank you so much. If Caicedo does not work his transfer, surely January, it must happen. Okay, let's see. We'll get to that in a bit. And so the man in Monaco says, please, coach, are there no updates on the new shirt sponsors? Sponsor, nothing new. We haven't heard anything, but I'm sure they're working on it. And if anything can happen, you'd hear it. This will be one of the first places you'd hear it. What time is the game? The game for me, I think it's 5:45 my time. Probably very late UK time.
1:30 a.m. I think.
Very again the next day actually, right? Yeah.
Past midnight.
Sorry.
Past midnight tonight.
Past midnight. So the next day in the UK, yeah. We may not get. Okay, let's see if that happens.
1:30 a.m.
Sorry.
1:30 a.m. for us here.
So we played in the UK on the 3rd of August. But for us, we'll be played on the 2nd here. Just joined. What time for the UK? Bobby just said it. What time did you say again, Bobby?
1:30 in the morning.
1:30 a.m. UK time. I think a team would make a last-minute bid on Gallagher. Okay, let's see if that happens. I guess 12 hours from now. I didn't calculate that. Let's see what else we have here. 1:30 a.m. UK time. Yep. I think we need a right wing. Nani alone wouldn't help. All the right wings or CFC are too young for Premier League. Okay. Yeah, let's talk about the 3 in behind the striker. And I'm going to start with you, Martin. The 10, the left wing, right wing. You go for it. And you should explain your decision for each player, your reason for selecting each player.
Okay. So starting on the left wing, I noticed Pochettino likes to free up that flank for Chilwell. He did that in the last game, and looking at how Modric's minutes has been diminishing, I would think maybe Martin would also play on that left side in that way. But if Modric starts there, then you'll be no surprise because he didn't play in the last game as well. So just from what I think Poch would like to do, I think he's going to play Martin on that wing, and he's going to invert him or play him in the inside forward role to combine
So
with
you
the
think
10.
it's going to be Maatsen here?
Yes, because even last game when he did play Nkunku in that way, Nkunku was mainly inward. So that flank was freed up for Chilwell mainly, and we've seen him do that with Maatsen and several times before that as well. So I think just for that reason, I think is going to be Maatsen. And then on the 10, I would like to think Nkunku plays, but then there's the discussion of who would be the second striker in the second half, unless he's looking to play both Nkunku and Jackson for majority of the game, like 70 minutes or 80, just to push the fitness a bit, and then let the young striker finish the game out. So just
So you
for
think
that
who
reason,
here?
yeah, Nkunku, I think he starts. And again, we'll be looking to build that chemistry between the Colwells and the midfield pivot of Enzo and Santos, and then seeing how that plays with Nkunku and Jackson together, because I think they'll be bouncing off each other, going away from the line. And we're playing against a German team in Dortmund. They keep a high line and they try to press and all of that. So we'll be looking to exploit the spaces behind.
Exactly.
So this would be one of a good test to do that. And then if we are doing that, then Martin joining the midfield will release Jackson and Nkunku to make those forward runs as well as Chilwell on the left side. So
So
on
you
the
think
right,
who will be on the right?
on the right is a bit tricky because I think it's anyone's game at this point. He's been playing Sterling, hoping to play him into form, and we've been seeing marginal improvements, but I don't know if he's going to bank on that or he's going to go with the younger ones. Now, Noni hasn't played so far, and we'll be looking to give him some minutes, which means we might only be able to make 2 subs on that right flank. So it's all about if he starts, or if he doesn't start, he'll come off for whoever starts. So on that basis only, I think he might want to go with Sterling again, and also for the speed of getting in behind and hitting on the break and counter attacks and all of that as well. So I think just for that reason, Angelo would be a good shout, but I don't know if he's banking on
Here's why
starting
I think Angelo may well get a chance. We've seen some reports suggesting that he's staying.
Yeah,
and
that's good.
Pochettino likes him, and if that's the case, he hasn't started. He didn't start the game. The last 2 games he didn't start, right?
No.
So maybe he gives him a chance now again, just to you could say, to help him with match fitness. But I don't know.
Yes,
it's difficult to predict what happens really. But go ahead.
that's true. Well, we're looking at Liverpool in mind. So unless you're looking to start Angelo against Robertson, in that Liverpool game, then it's a bit of a sticky one. He's gotten enough minutes. We've seen him. We know his quality. So playing him in this game wouldn't really have that much of a great value, given that Noni hasn't played at all. So would need some minutes for that. And then whoever you expect to start against Liverpool should, be getting the nod as well. So if indeed it is Sterling at this point in time, then Sterling should get the nod, and then Noni should get some fitness. Or unless he wants to bank on Angelo, because then who comes on in the second half on that right wing? Would it be Sterling, or do we say we'll go a full preseason without Madueke playing a single minute? So it's a bit of a tricky one, but just on that basis, I think Sterling might just edge it.
Okay, this report here says Chelsea are having a meeting to decide whether to go for. It says Chelsea are having a meeting in the next few hours to decide on to make a final decision whether to go for Dusan Vlahovic or walk away. So we'll find out soon. And this is Poch from Horrific of Festivity. He says, Poch, I believe, understands that the EPL from his experience at sports. Yeah, if not, then he has no business being a Chelsea manager. Mudryk and Nkunku and Gabriel for you. Okay, let's see. Where do you think Carney's position And should he stay, or does he does he need a loan in? That's Lamine Jallo. For me, I think he's more of an 8, a 10. Yeah, I think that's why, again, I think he can play as a 10. I don't see him as a deep lying player, but I'm not too sure what happens. If he's not going to play and continue developing properly, then let him go out on loan. That is just my opinion. But let's see. Too young, I don't agree. Arsene Wenger did great things with young Arsenal. History has it that he almost assigned Messi. Imagine for a second what Arsenal would have been if they had a Messi. And again, of his qualities, you must remember again the influence the manager Messi had.
Coach, that's garbage. Absolute, total, utter.
Yeah, La Mafia.
That's why I'm trying to respond however I can. But go ahead, Bobby.
If anybody came close to signing Messi, it was Chelsea when he and his father met with Roman Abramovich. What are these Arsenal chameleons talking about? He never got anywhere near Arsenal, and neither would he have. It's rubbish.
Yeah, I think the person in question that person there is a Chelsea fan. He's just making a case for the young players. But Messi coming into it can be confusing, and you must not. You can say, you must not. Again, you have to appreciate the influence of Pep Guardiola on the player that Messi ended up becoming. It's as simple as that. But I know a lot of people, when you bring that to the table as an argument, they will say, no, it's all Messi's ability and all that. I get it, what he's gone on to become, but don't again, you must not, you must not, again, you must appreciate the influence of Pep. But that's just my opinion. I'll move on from that. This is a Mudryk, a lack of odd minutes is a surprise. Maybe he's trying to get the opposition team. I think that he's not going to start him, and then on the day he starts. Or maybe he just trusts him. It just has, again, the same argument I've made with regards to the case of Thiago Silva. He knows him, trusts him, and believes in him. He just wants to look at all the options he has. He's not too sure whether to keep or let go. That's how I see it. I think he did well during the few minutes he played. Outstanding goal. If we have the Mudryk of last season, he sits on the bench, but he did well. To me, you see my interpretation of him not playing that much. Maybe the manager knows him and probably not too worried about him, but too worried about that he isn't quite sure where they fit, how did fit in the team and what to do with them. Mudryk and Nkunku, Jackson, Nani, that would be a perfect front four. Let's see, and that's from who there, Ayushi Meshram. Nice to see you. I appreciate you joining. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Chelsea Perspective community. Enjoy yourself. All we ask of you is just to keep it civil. We needed to see more of Gabriel. I think he may well today. I'm not too sure. Since Poch needs experience, that should be one of the reasons why among other things he wants to keep Gallagher. Maybe, yeah. Glad to see Poch is keeping Matson and Santos. Panda, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. It's been a minute. I love Matson and respect this lineup, but I feel we need to give time to Mudryk, Nkunku, and Jackson to understand each other. Okay, let's see. We're not done yet. I think we have one more panelist to speak whether he agrees again on the selection there. The three behind the striker. If we have a conflict here, then we will involve those in the chat. I saw some Instagram stories that Mudryk put out. They was said, in fact, showing a small kid running to greet a large photo of him, hero, warrior, father on Kiev streets. I think Mudryk is being protected. Maybe that may well be the case. We do not know. And Hafid Zalani, after all the signings, no world-class free kick taker in the squad. No, I disagree. Enzo, again, he's a good free kick taker. What's his name is also
Coach, not for Chelsea so far.
Yeah, Enzo, but it will happen. I wouldn't. Sure. I wasn't concerned because nothing was going the way we wanted last season. Everything was you can say nothing went well last season. So
sure, I'm just saying he was putrid for us, and has been for taking free kicks so far.
Yeah, I think it will come good in terms of that aspect.
I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm not concerned really. Chelsea are back in the race to sign Asen Zarian, albeit through Strasbourg. That's another way to to go about it because we like him and he wants to come to us. Angelo won't get many minutes tonight. It's been agreed already. He's going out on loan to Portugal when he comes back from the US. Ross, where you getting that from? I think that stance has changed actually. Anthony brings from four versus Liverpool for me. Front four versus Liverpool for me. Nkunku, Carney, Starling experience. Okay, and Modric Jackson on. Okay, let's see. Put Nkunku left wing and Matson on cam. Do you think what again? Do you think that's what Pochettino would do? That's what we're trying to predict here. We don't have again too much to work with because we don't know him that much. Okay, Peter Pan, I know you're a Chelsea fan, and that's why you saw me. I explained that. I really don't understand the negativity surrounding the signing of Vlahovic. What is wrong with having two capable strikers? Nothing wrong in that, but most people are concerned with regards to his injury record. Some are saying he's injury prone. Some are saying he's not. The argument from some such as Constantine Dante is that he went to a big club at Juventus and hasn't, you can say, lived up to expectations. But some are saying the whole thing comes down to Allegri's approach. That didn't help him. Coach, there's no superstar, according to Asen, that he missed signing everybody. He's still trying to sell his book. Yeah, again, that's him. No, I'm fine. I'm not sick really. The person we talked about that is going through you can say going through a situation, Glenn. So just pray for him. Hope he recovers. I hope he overcomes, and I believe he will overcome. He's a strong person from what I've seen, and plus always happy. Always jovial too. That will go a long way, and I hope to see him back again in the chat soon, making us all laugh. Let's see what else do we have here. Mudryk and Nkunku, Starling, Ian Matson has been great, but he will only stay if we don't get another left-footed right wing. Who will only stay? Can you be specific there? Are you talking about Matson? I think Matson stays really. But that's my opinion. I'm going to come to you, Bobby. The three behind the striker. What are the players you think Mauricio Pochettino will select? Are you there, Bobby? All right. Let's go for the most difficult position, Roger. I'm going to start you with that. The number 9.
I didn't get to pick my front three, coach.
Oh, apologies.
Yeah.
That's a sign I don't like you. You know that, right?
How soon they forget. Actually, to be honest with you, I wholeheartedly agree with virtually every word that Martin has said. I mean, I could give my soliloquy also, but no, he's so right about playing Sterling into form and maybe let's see Angelo play there. I think it's so who's put Mudson now? I think it's going to be Mudryk. I really do.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Mudryk.
So which means we have to use the poll. Go ahead.
Yeah, listen, I don't mind Matson. Listen, Matson's played everywhere but goalkeeper so far, so he's impressed me. He's been a pleasant surprise. Excuse me. But
I'd love to see Modric, man.
Yeah, I'd like to see Modric there because he needs game time. He needs to round off those edges. He's a little bit raw. And the more he plays, the better he'll become. Not just for himself, but also for the understanding of what Poch needs. So he can go back and review the tape to see what he's doing correctly and not so correctly. So I think it will be important to see whether he comes on as a sub or he starts. Somewhat irrelevant, but not really. I think it'd be best if he starts. And Nkunku, I think, needs to play there and behind Jackson. If I can just do a tap in on number 11 there on number 9.
Okay. Here, who did you pick as your 10?
My 10 will be Nkunku.
Okay. And your left, you said Mudryk, which means we need a poll for this one, right?
Yeah. Nkunku or Gallagher, but I'd like to see Nkunku. I'd like to see Mudryk there and or Maatsen. I think I'm not sure what he would choose. I mean, I would like to hope to think that he being Poch would choose Mudryk
Okay, but
because
you're certain. You're saying you're sure he
look, I'm not
chooses.
certain about anything Poch does, coach.
Okay, but you
because-
say you're sure, but you feel like you disagree with Maatsen playing on the left, right? Which means we have to use a poll. That's why I'm asking.
No, I don't disagree. I just believe that I would, as I said, I like seeing him play anywhere. He's been a pleasant surprise, but I would prefer to see Mudryk start there. I would like to see Maatsen come on in the second half, maybe, and play either on the left or the right. He's proven he can do either. Let's be honest, he's shined in both positions where he's played in the right wing and the left wing. So it's irrelevant in my opinion. As I said earlier, I would either like to see Maatsen start as left wing back, left back, or goal. What's his name? Hall. But there, I'd like to see Mudryk play on the left up front. Then Nkunku and or Gallagher. The right. Listen, you know what? Let's go all in on the pot. He should start Sterling. You know why? Because if he does repeat his performances, and I use that term loosely, then this shows that what you see is what you get.
You get, yeah.
You know, and so
confirmation.
Confirmation that he shouldn't be selected. Because I guarantee you, if this was a player that had come through our academy and was playing at precisely the way he does, he would not be selected. He wouldn't even be in discussion. He'd probably be on the next plane back cargo to England. Not even coach, he'll be cargo. So let's see him play. But yeah, I would like to see. So what about Madueke? Is he not fit to start at all?
I don't think he's. Maybe he may well get some minutes today, but I don't think he starts. That's just my opinion, really.
Well, let's say this: they better not play him unless he's 100% fit.
Yeah.
Because we can't afford for him to tweak a bloody hamstring. If he's 100% and he's being honest, and only he will know his body. Do you understand? If he and the physio say, yes, it's 100%, I'm ready to go, then I would like to see him start. If that is not the case, I'd like to see Sterling and or Angelo play there. That's all I have to say.
And just
we'll go to the most difficult. Go ahead, Martin, if you were saying something.
Like, personally, I really would like to see Mudryk on the left as well.
Yes, of course.
I was just going off what Poch has been doing by
I get it.
the left winger.
Sure, I totally understand. No, as I said, what you said, I agreed with everything. Bless you. I really do. But I think Nkunku needs to develop a relationship with Jackson up front and also with Mudryk. Yeah, exactly. Which they already have shown they can. And it would be wonderful if Madueke could play and further develop. For the first 45, they don't have to go 90 minutes out. 45
I just
is
wish
great.
He could just come on and just give us that performance that we're like, yes.
Whom? Who are you talking about?
Noni.
Oh, yeah. I love... he's really impressed me each and every time he's played. He's got such a good future ahead of him. He really does.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see James start. I really don't. We need to wrap him in. By the way, I think we need to compliment and give kudos to his sister Lauren for the goals she scored for England. And the one that was actually ruled out because of offside. Wow. If only our players could score goals like that. She was on El Fuego on fire.
Yeah.
Coach? You're muted.
They got to him. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not the drill.
He's probably talking on the Arsenal channel.
I was on mute and I was going at it until I heard you guys say something. More importantly, Rick, how you day? I hope so you day well. Nice to see you, brother. I promise you I was going to take care of something. I totally forgot about it. But I'll take care of it moment the show is done. But nice to see you. How you day once more. Let's see. Vlahovic is a bad signing up, but I'd rather him than Lukaku. It's as simple as that. The lesser of the two evils, if that's how you see it. And this is Mudryk and Nkunku installing a start behind the striker. This will give us an idea of the lineup of Liverpool. Maatsen will go on loan. You will see, I think Maatsen stays, in my opinion. Let's see what else we have here. Liverpool 3, Bayern Munich 4. That's what's it called again? Goals galore. Coach Hassan was on BT Sports last night. He said he had the chance to sign Roger to his panel, but again, he missed the opportunity. You must have dished out a huge contract to keep Roger here. He won't even listen. But thank you. Let's see what else we have tonight.
Funny,
tonight's game is about Liverpool. We were again 11 days. We are 11 days away with no other planned friendly game. Get Maatsen out of the left wing position, please. I don't know. It may well end up being a stroke of genius by the manager, which is not no.
Yeah,
so let him
it's
do
true.
his job. Yeah. And it's proven effective actually. How many goals in total? 3 goals, or is it 2?
but that's irrelevant. It's not okay. Goals are important. Don't get me wrong. I often say that, but it's how he's performed. You know,
overall, yeah.
Overall, he's been a delight, a surprise. By the way.
Mm-hmm. I think what Pochettino likes most of there is his intelligence. He's a very intelligent player. Can exploit spaces very well and doesn't hesitate if he sees an opportunity to score. He takes again instinctively shoots. And again, let's see what the manager does. I trust him. Gallagher in a 10 timeout. Roger suggests that. Okay, against Liverpool, their right back will be standing all the time in a half. Mudryk would get again acres of space to operate. Yep, in behind the Liverpool again. Their high line is their thing. They don't change. Even if you have Jets playing on the flanks for us, they still play a very high line.
It's their thing.
Yeah, it's their thing. And I think we're going to have the same problem too because Poch likes a very high line too. Panda, again, do we need a striker? We need to get rid of Lukaku. Okay, let's see. Just having a conversation there. 110 million for Caicedo and Sanchez is a fair deal. Not bad, really. But yeah, let's see how that happens. That's what the rumors are that will happen. And I think Bobby did explain that to he did explain that when the show started. But that's, by the way, the number 9 position, Roger. The most difficult position to select. Who do you think starts there? You think Kenny Rogers, or you think who?
Bettinelli.
But of course, it is most definitely Jackson. If Nkunku plays, and Jackson did not start the last game, right?
No, I think he did.
No, so I think he starts this one because the only question should be the only question I think will be whether he starts or not. Do I think he will start against Liverpool? Yes, of course he will start against Liverpool. But in this game,
if Jackson doesn't start and Broja is fit, I'd like to see Broja start.
Yeah, but he's not even ready to be part of the preseason exercises and all that. So I think it's Jackson. In my opinion,
you want to change the left wing to Modric because he didn't play last game.
Yeah, and I think let's look at the poll also. With 31 votes, 74% thinks it should be Modric, 30% thinks it should be Maatsen. Yeah, Maatsen, and 30% thinks it should be Sterling.
Can you not add the actual substitutes underneath each name?
We can do that. We can try that.
Because you could put Modric / Maatsen underneath. And you can put Nkunku / whoever. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay, so let's do Maatsen.
I just want to see you work harder, coach.
Yeah, and then you make sure that. Then for this one, the most likely player there will be Carney. I think he's played there how many times now? 2 times, right?
Yeah. Actually, Carney is a really good shout.
Yeah. here,
I
if
wouldn't
it's
mind
not
seeing him
Santos, it
start,
should
coach.
be. I think the person that gets a chance here should be what's his name, Ugochukwu. Honestly, and for a good reason, because the
You
man
think
that
so?
says they want to assess him. Yeah, he says
Yeah.
specifically they want to assess him and then decide what to do with him. The assessment should be he gets to play. How are you going to
Yeah,
assess him?
actually.
It shouldn't be on the
No,
training
assessing on the
ground
well,
alone.
I understand what you're saying, but
Mhm.
he's just arrived yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. It's a bit to start. I don't know. Well, it's possible. It all
But
Not to
depends on.
start.
I just think that's bold, to say the least. It's very much out of the norm for that to happen. Let's put it that
Yeah.
way.
I think we have different again options. We'll all choose different players for the right wing, so we have to use the poll again. Okay, if it is not Colwell, who will it be?
Humphreys.
Let's go to the back line. If it's not Colwell, who will it be? And if it's not Silva, who will it be? I don't think we have too many options there.
I think
Humphreys,
and Chalobah.
maybe. You said Humphreys if it's not Colwell, right? Was that what you said?
Yes, on the left.
Okay, how'd you spell his name again?
HUMPH.
isn't it?
The IES
Or
or
REY.
YS?
EYS.
EYS, yeah.
Like this?
I can't see the
Can't
Okay.
see.
comment.
Can't
The
see.
comment is blocking.
Okay, Humphreys. Okay. Okay, and if
Yes,
it's not
yes,
Silva,
exactly.
who then? We don't have. Who will it be? We don't have too
Chalobah.
many options there.
Well,
Probably
Chalobah is
Chalobah.
injured. But he's injured.
Oh, he is.
Is he still
Gilchrist.
injured?
He took a knock. We haven't heard he's recovered. So if anything, we'll play it safe and just not play him.
Actually, Humphreys plays on the right, coach, if I'm not mistaken.
But we've been using him on the left mainly.
Yeah, he's done well.
Even on,
So let's just
even
plug
in the last
Chalobah in
game.
here. Yeah.
Or you can put the Gilchrist.
Or Silva.
This is-
Oh, you got Silva starting.
Again,
sorry.
if you Gilchrist, do you think he stays in the team?
No.
No, he wouldn't. But Chalobah, based on his, his knock, I don't think he would be looking to risk him. That's just it.
Okay, you just go ahead, spell Gilchrist.
GIL and then Christ.
Oh, Gilchrist.
Yeah,
Is that it?
I think so.
That's funny, really. But I think it's important that we're doing this. But when it's not Enzo, who will it be? I'm asking that question.
Gallagher.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if he says, yeah,
Gilchrist is another incredible young utility player. He played at right back at some point in the last game, and he's somebody that can play in the six as well. Just saying. I know I've missed part of the conversation.
I don't know him too well to present an argument for him, honestly.
No, he's good. He's very good. Youth product. He really is, and he's very technical as well.
Mm. So if it's not Enzo, who will it be? You say Gallagher, right?
Gallagher.
Okay.
GALLGH.
Yeah, I'd say if it's not Enzo, I think probably maybe Caicedo just for one more time, but I'm not too sure. Let's go for the two best for each position. Yeah, 110 million for Caicedo, and I think I've read that one too. 100 million for Caicedo. He didn't even get Kante. We didn't even get Kante for half that price. Let's see what else we have. You keep dropping the likes on the stream. Leslie joining the team in America at the Fulham game. This video of him. Okay, I'm gonna check that too. Leslie arrived over the weekend. He has been with the team for 3 days now. So yeah, so there's a chance he may well get a chance. But let's see what happens. What else do we have here? Crazy how we're still relying on Thiago Silva. I think mainly because of his leadership and because he still get the job done too. And he's in his walking stick. Can we experiment with Humphreys? I think we've done that, and I think you still see that happen maybe today. And Colwell more, so we don't depend on Silva as much. But Yashile is also coming from injury. I think we're set in the back again, defensive department. Let's see. Okay. The number 9, excuse me, jeez. If it's not Jackson, who would it be? What do you think,
Busto.
Martin?
I
The
think
kid that played the other
Busto.
day, or do you think Nkunku
Yeah,
plays 10, then someone else plays 10?
that was what I was considering, but that would vary, between halves. So if we're looking to start both Nkunku and Jackson, then it'll be one of them will come off for Busto.
Yeah, I think
But then
maybe
there's
Nkunku
also
plays. Yeah, so if Nkunku is not in the 10 position, he'll most likely be playing in the 9 position. I think we've seen that position, before.
another thing we could do is we could maybe leave Nkunku, as the second striker, and then put Casade on that Carney. Because
Okay, remove
if we are
Nkunku
looking to
here,
mix,
right?
if we're looking to mix it up in the second half, then we could play Kane as the 10, and then Casade could come in for one of Jackson and Nkunku. Or Nkunku. Yeah.
And that's not just your preference. That's what you think Pochettino would do.
Possibly, because he was hesitant to start both of them in the last game, so he might look to split it as well. There is that variation, and then there is the Busto variation. So it depends on what or how the coach wants to wing it. Well, he has trusted Casade most of the games. He played them 290 minutes already, so he might fancy him playing again in that way.
Wow. Okay, let's see
Ideally,
what's yeah. We focus so much on Caicedo. Okay, we focus so much on Caicedo. What if we get him and he gets injured or gets a red card? We're not saying that if we get him, he's going to play immediately. Good morning,
yeah.
everyone. What about Disasi? I don't think he gets a chance today. Probably again hasn't joined the camp. If he has, I don't know. If we sign Caicedo for that outrageous price, then we must win the league. Okay, let's see if that happens. So, Roger, anything else you want to say about the lineup? About the lineup? Okay, it looks like. Okay, go ahead, Roger. You're there now. Roger, you there? Or you want me to move on? It looks like if you don't have anything to add. Bobby, anything else
So
you want to say
yeah,
about the lineup?
yeah, the lineup.
Yeah.
Sorry, I stepped out a bit. I've missed part of what was being said. What have we got? We've got who's our front three?
The front three, the three in behind the striker are Modric or Matson, Carney or Casade. Then the right wing we haven't filled that space because I think people they disagree with our selection, and the panelists we couldn't come agree on what player starts on the right side. So well, I'm going to use the poll here to to complete
Well, the
that
right
one.
side almost picks itself. If what's his name? Madueke is still injured. I think he has to try Angelo. On the left, I remember overhearing Roger saying that he thinks he's going to try Sterling again. I mean, I'd rather Sterling wasn't even in the team, but I can see him doing that. If not, I don't think he'll play Martin. Martin hasn't really got anything else to prove now. I personally believe he's in the squad, and if I look at what Pochettino said in his conference, he's looking at conditioning and he doesn't want to overflog players in pre-season. And Madson's played a lot. Modric is an interesting one. He hasn't played as much, and he could be one to at least start, if not start, he'll certainly come on for the second half. That's the front three. I mean, the centre of that, Casade, we've said played a lot. Carney has had a fair few games, but they're really the main two. Now it depends. If Jackson's playing as the striker, then Nkunku could come in there. He hasn't particularly played so many games. That's a difficult one. So anyway, I would say because he's slightly practicing for Liverpool, I would say starts Nkunku with Jackson as this striker to start.
Yeah, how about you, Roger? You there? Anything else you want to suggest? Or do you think we're good? Okay. it looks like Roger isn't available to speak right now. So I'm just we'll start addressing the transfer items we'll have lined up. So we'll round up as soon as possible. And thank you for 130 likes. I appreciate you all. I cannot thank you guys enough. This says, let's see, Mourinho was the coach close to signing Messi, not Wenger. Angela, for sure, no to Stalin. Well, I think the manager may well fuel him because of his experience. That's how I see it. If Chelsea end up signing Dusan Vlahovic, Sanchez, and Caicedo, we must challenge for the title. Wow. Okay, let's see what happens there. Who's Sanchez? Okay, Robert Sanchez of Brighton. Alvarez is another good option if we don't get Caicedo. And yeah, rumors are that we're considering him. He said I think he didn't join Dortmund as rumored. Rumors were that he was on the verge of joining Dortmund at the time. A few weeks ago, actually, he ended up, he hasn't joined him. He's still available on the market, I believe. But let's see what happens there. Mudryk really needs to get some work in. Thomas Bates, I appreciate you. Nice to see you. And Roger says, sorry, coach. My cousin visited Gresho. As always, enjoy your cousin's visit, brother. The show will not grow legs and run away. But I appreciate you finding the time to join. Good day, everyone. Hope everybody is having a bright blue day. Yes, we are. I appreciate you all for finding the time to join the show. So this is the lineup. It's Kepa between the Sticky Cedar, Cucurella, or Chilwell, but Chilwell most likely to start over Cucurella, Colwell most likely to start over Humphries, Silva to start over Gilchrist, and James to start over Gusto. Sanchez most likely to start over Ugochukwu, but we strongly believe that Ugochukwu will get a chance because the manager said publicly they will assess him and then decide whether he stays or goes. Gallagher, if Enzo doesn't start, Mudryk to start over Maxson, and that's what we think will happen. Carney to start over Casade, in Jackson or Nkunku starts in the number 9 position. But let's see what happens there. And on the right hand side, 71% out of 18 votes, 72% thinks it will be Angelo. So we're just going to go with that. 18 votes is a good sample size. So Angelo here starts in the right wing position. So we'll go for it. Again, this is just us having fun. We don't have too much to work with. We don't know much about the manager. So, but yeah, Martin, you want to add anything to that?
I was like, that's good as well, and it should probably lean to the side of maybe Noni is not that ready, and if it's a pick between Angelo or Sterling, I think most would lean Angelo. And believe me,
and if it's not Angelo, then it's probably Morella.
Yeah, or even Martin can play on the right like Poch's done before. So,
but I think it will most likely be Morella. But that's just my opinion. What do you think? Should I plug in Morella there?
I would lean slightly a bit to Sterling because there is still that side of
Sterling. Probably
things.
Sterling starting over Angelo, but those in the chat they picked Angelo. But go ahead.
Angelo, yeah, but even from the bench, because there's still that hope that we know there's a quality player in there, and we know that if he changes his form, he gets going, he'll be a big asset for us and starting the season and being really ready for the season. So there is still that hope. As much as we criticize him and we expect him to step up his game, there is still always that hope that he could come on and have a flying game and would be happy.
Yeah, I do agree with you. Let's see what else we have here. Then we can start addressing the transfer items we have lined up. I've been hearing rumors about him, but I think we've addressed that here. I don't see that happening. One natural DM at Chelsea is Leslie, the only actually. Every other person is either, again, if you look at other candidates for that role, you see that person is a CM but capable of fulfilling the DM role, or that person is a box-to-box midfielder but capable of fulfilling the DM role. But the natural, traditionally, the player we have within our ranks right now that is traditionally DM is, what's his name, Leslie Ugochukwu. And the shocking aspect of the whole thing is that I'm hearing that there's a chance he's most likely to leave on loan. It just doesn't make sense. Leave on loan to where? Strasbourg, but he helped Rennes again achieve a top 4 place, which means they'll be playing the Champions League in the coming season. I just don't understand the rationale. But if he can, I don't think I will listen to anybody if he ends up living on loan. trying to explain why that's the case. Poch is very particular about adding experience to the team. Sterling will start, coach. I think so too. If you see my predicted YouTube shots or predicted lineup, you'd see I feel the same too. Yolande Anthony Modric has not played a game again. Who is he injured? You're talking about Modric? I think he's playing. Oh, Madueke. Yeah, he again Nelson. Again, he's Nelson a knock. Is that what's again? Go ahead.
But he's been training since last weekend, so he's had like 3 days of full training with the squad and everything. So he's good to play. You know, as we think, you know, few minutes. But he was not in a knock earlier on. He didn't travel with the team the first time, but now he's good and now he's up to speed. So we'd love to give him some minutes in the next game.
Yeah, I hope he gets some minutes. We're gonna get into the transfer items we'll have lined up. Just give me a few seconds. I'm trying to do something here very quickly. Let's give me 1 sec here. All right, let's do this. What's the first item here? We'll start from here. This says Moises Caicedo told guests at Brighton's end of the year awards evening tonight he wants to leave Brighton. Martin, what do you make of this? I think he will snap sooner than later. Even if he stays, I don't think it'd be the same because it's become ridiculous, really. But what do you make of it?
Yeah, I think it's getting to the point where, you know, the players feeling heartfelt about the situation, and let's give it to him. He stayed professional throughout this period, and you know he feels like there is still the final bit that would come through.
Yeah, he's played the game for them, right? He's trained,
yes,
played the game
several
for them,
games.
didn't complain. Yeah, go ahead.
Exactly, he's taking pictures and he's done everything. And the award, you know, that was good. That was respectful and all. So he's expecting to still live. And given that this came from a Brighton source and it hasn't been denied or anything, it kind of tells us the full picture of what's going on and where his mental state is at. And I think Brighton might be willing to sell, but it's all about the finances. And if Chelsea decide to walk, I'm not sure this would look good on them in that way. However, the player really wants to go. So if you're keeping him for another year, then it might get a bit sticky or it might not.
And here's the thing, the longer this takes, the more potential new signings for Brighton you can say, they will try to have exit strategies. It doesn't help them. It doesn't help them because people are paying attention. Agents are paying attention. And if a football agent, and I'm following the whole conundrum, and you want to sign one of my players, then I'll bring something to the table that you've never seen before. But Bobby, you have anything to add to this one here?
And other players are still at Brighton.
Mute. Look, Caicedo, I saw what he is reported to have said. I don't know what Brighton's particular end game is at this time. I think it's now getting to the point where they are losing their moral high ground or their leverage. They have to let this guy go. You know, the issue of Levi Colwill, if it was ever on the table, is completely off the table now. This guy has more than intimated that he wants to go. So forcing a player who clearly doesn't want to be with you to stay is unhealthy for your dressing room at the very least. You've had 80 million dropped on your table for this guy, which you've said no to, which is ridiculous. That's over 1,000% plus profit on what you bought him for. And there's another bid coming, which for me, if it's up to 85, they have to take it. If they don't take it, they're beginning to look very foolish. In fact, they already look foolish as it stands. So I, for the first time, feel, look, this is going to happen. You know, they're weakening. The walls are closing in on them as far as this deal is concerned. It's not worth the agitation. It's not worth it. It's not even business anymore. It's becoming childish. They need to take the money as quickly as possible and invest it in a replacement, unless they haven't got this replacement that they claim they have, then it's another matter. I think discussions are going on. There's this discussion of the whole sort of package of Caicedo, and Roberts to Chelsea. It has to be done. I can't see any other way that makes much sense. It's not even a matter of saving face anymore. It's just become ridiculous. And if they don't do it, it starts to look spiteful to the player. And that is really lighting a match to a powder keg.
And it doesn't reflect well on them because agents will be paying attention and wouldn't want their clients to go through such situation. And when they get to do business with Brighton, they'd be cautious. Thank you so much for that. Let's see what else we have here. Martin better than Modric. Rain, that's your opinion. At what time is the game East Africa? I don't know. You have to do that calculation yourself. Just check. You can check. I think 1:30 a.m. UK, 2 Eastern time, East Africa time. Modric, come on, again, you'll try better next time. But not bad because she did her best there. I am aghast. Matson and Angelo seem to be staying. Santos was never in question. Oh yeah, I get it again. And again, a closer look showed actually he should stay. And no wonder why the club pushed to get a work permit for him last season, but it didn't happen. Let's see what else we have here. DJ with an update for us. He says Juventus are calm in their negotiations for a proposal for Romelu Lukaku Dusan Vlahovic swap deal because they know Chelsea are desperate to get rid of the Belgium international, and they're desperate to get rid of Dusan Vlahovic too. People, please ignore Nightbot. Again, it's a machine. It's not a human being. But thank you for saying that. There's a rumor. Let me just read that. Again, it's not a human being. An Arsenal fan in the mix. I'm glad I read it through. Kofi. Quite done so. There's a rumor Caicedo's former club has 20% a selling clause in the deal. So probably why Brighton are trying to push for 100 million so they don't lose too much. We had the same issue when we tried to sign Enzo. Chelsea should be calm too.
Can I add
because
to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
So this is why the Sanchez deal now makes this a very convenient deal, because if we do a double package, we could do a deal where we switch the money, majority of the money that should have gone to the Caicedo deal to the Sanchez deal, and then Brighton get to keep majority of the money and then have less to give to the Independente or the team Caicedo came from. So the 20% instead of even if it was a 90 million, instead of giving them the 20, you could say no, we'll get Sanchez for a little more of that 20 million and then get Caicedo for 80 or 75. And then they get to give the other team less money, and then they keep money on Sanchez. So it could be a 2-for-1 package, and that would benefit them still.
Yeah, I do agree with you. Chelsea should be calm too, because Juventus are desperate to get rid of. It goes both. It does go both ways. So I agree with you. Who said Caicedo is unhappy? Also, you need to keep in mind Independiente. The Val again will get 20% of the 80 million. Brighton are not stupid. So it makes more sense now that we know that they have to give them 20%. Brighton, okay. Panda, that's why I said it seems. Good point there. Let's see what else we have lined up here. We need to get through those and round up as soon as possible. And I'm glad we started with the match preview. I think that's how we're going to be. Again, we will tackle it when we have the two of them in the same show. Has officially signed a new contract at Chelsea until 2029, 5-year contract with an option to extend it to a further year. That makes it 6 option on Chelsea's side. It's a good one. I'm glad we sealed that one. Anybody on the panel want to talk about that, or should we move on?
I think this was very important, Coach. All fans are very happy about that. We've lost a very significant member of the Chelsea Academy in Mason Mount,
Yeah.
and securing someone like Levi Colwell, who's very clearly a future, and if he grows according to plan, could become a new face of the club. I think was very, very important, both on and off the pitch.
I think he will be. Yeah.
Also, this sends a message indeed to these clubs that take our players on loan and think that taking them on loan means taking them. This isn't the case. Crystal Palace kind of tried it with Gallagher, and we put our foot down. And now Brighton trying it with Colwell. Chelsea players, when we sign a deal to send our players on loan, we don't mean go and start whispering in their ears to stay with you. I think that's bad business. It seems a little bit unethical. Yes, if the player enjoys themselves so much and they say, hey, look, I'd like to stay here, it's a different thing. But for that club to then be actively pursuing the player, I think it's very unethical. And the fact that straight afterwards we slammed a permanent extended deal on Levi Colwell just reinforces the purpose of us sending these players on loan. Whether the club likes it or not, it's a mutual agreement. They go and serve you for a year and they develop for us for a year. That's the purpose. And losing sight of that purpose is just wrong. So I think that's a very big statement signing for us without being the proverbial statement signing. Takes away a lot of pressure from the defense, takes away a lot of pressure from the club, and actually it's helped steal a march on the Caicedo deal. Because whether it's true or not, the distraction of saying Colwell was part of the deal, that's why they're dragging their feet, has been eliminated. So now any further bid, especially an incremental bid made by Chelsea, there's little room to reject it. There's little room. Even I'm reading places where even someone like Ben Jacobs, who's quite strong on Brighton are adamant with on 100 million. Even he's saying, look, yeah, they're adamant on 100 million, but the two clubs are talking and the talks are progressing. I personally feel 85 should do this deal. 85 with maybe some add-on
Unachievable
incentives, maybe
add-ons,
taking it up to 90.
Ballon
If
d'Or
they
clause.
if they refuse that, then they are a very, very stupid club, and they've lost um, their business senses. It is more than good business. I mean, why frustrate this player who clearly has indicated he wants to go? His representatives have flown to the United States to meet you, to reduce the asking price. I mean, it doesn't look good for them anymore.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. You go ahead. What you have to say? You were saying something about Ballon d'Or clause.
Yeah, I was like, we could put like really unachievable add-ons to just make it look bigger than it actually is. Like what you just said, an 85, and then maybe a cheeky 5 if he scores 50 goals, or if he does this, or if he does that. Just things that we know we'll probably never achieve till maybe in 5 years' time or not. Just to make it sound big, to make it look like 90, 95. And then if they don't take it, we walk because it's still 85 up front, regardless. And yeah, and again, we are still interested in Sanchez as well. So, but it's one of them ones that we should be looking to make happen this week. I don't think it's something we should drag our feet. If we know we're gonna get to 90 or get to 85, I think we should do it now and then chase our replacements if they reject it. Because doing it now, doing it next week Wednesday, a rejection would still be a rejection if they feel that way still. So I just think we should get on with it really. We've had
Yeah.
talks for over 2 months.
Yeah, I hope we get it over the line. No, we're not waste time too much. Yes, that's correct. We are trying to help a Brighton shift the funds to Sanchez. He will be a pure profit for Brighton on the books. Yeah. Let's see what it's only the best of Cobham will stay at Chelsea. Mount was that, and he didn't want to stay. You can argue that. Big up, coach. Big up to you too. The Breach CFC. I hope you're doing well. Again, I cannot wait for our match tonight. I would play. I would pay. I'll play 20 million. Okay, with Lukaku for Dusan Vlahovic. Okay, you paid that much again. Plus Lukaku to get Dusan Vlahovic. A lot of people think we should just, you can say, just do it. Just do the deal. We will need to pay the 100 million for Caicedo due to 20% of the money is owed to his first club, Independiente del Valle, and as a solemn fee. Brighton would probably ask for another 10 million if we attempt to include a Ballon d'Or clause. Yeah, they're not stupid, really. Bobby living in again. Mount was never the guy. He didn't give two rats about Chelsea. I think Bobby can agree to that. He wanted money and chose money or over legacy at his boyhood club. That's a good argument too. If Brighton allows Caicedo and Sanchez to leave this transfer window, they will get relegated next season. You think? Okay, Sanchez is an academy player. Sanchez is an academy player, so whatever Brighton receives will be pure profit. 18 million for Caicedo, 20% to his old club, and 30 million for Sanchez. I didn't know he was Brighton, a Brighton academy player. I'm just hearing that for the first time around. Let's see the next item we have lined up and move on. This one, I'm not too sure if we'll have anything to add to that. Just says Chelsea, a partner club, Strasbourg, have appointed super agent Rafael Pimenta to win the race to sign a Russian star Asen Zarayan. The attacking midfielder was close to joining Lazio, but increasingly attracted by Chelsea multi-club project. And he loves Chelsea. He's actually made an argument that he wants to come in fight for places with the likes of Kai Havertz and Mason Mount, but that didn't materialize because we couldn't find a way around the political issues that's stopped us from signing him. But that's, by the way, anybody on the channel want to talk about, on the panel want to talk about that, or should I move on?
Yeah, on this one, it's an interesting thing because I would like to see how much we're going to pay for him, given we'll be snatching him from Lazio in that way. Because it would have been interesting to see him play at Lazio and see how he fits in Europe and in the competitions. But if we're looking to hijack this deal and get him to Strasbourg, then I hope financially it makes sense for us in that way. But he's a good player, and I trust the scouts to know what they're doing with all the good work they've been doing this summer. So we'll see how this one plays out.
Yeah, I agree with you. If it turns out that his preferred destination is the Breach, then I don't think we'll pay too much money. But that's just my opinion. Let's see what happens here. I keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 139 likes, and let's get it to 100 to 200 and shoot for 300 if you can. 19 million and 20 million for Sanchez benefits Independiente more. 80 million and 30 million for Sanchez benefits Brighton more. Okay. Thank you for taking the time to go through that. Let's look at the next item we have lined up here. That Sanchez and Caicedo could be included in the same amount or a total package, even though there are two separate negotiations. We've addressed that one. And this one says that Juventus are waiting for Chelsea to decide if they want to do the Dusan Vlahovic, Romelu Lukaku plus 14 million euros swap deal. Juve feel they can be strong because Lukaku has already said yes to them, but Chelsea must decide. Do you think we need Vlahovic? I'm asking you, Martin.
This is one of those negotiations that I am extremely fluid either way it goes.
Because whatever happens, you take.
Yes, because there are positives on both sides, and there are also negatives on both sides. So it will take a lot if I have to break it down. So just to give you a quick summary, and then maybe I can revisit and break it down if we still have more time.
Okay, let's see what happens, Bobby. Do you think we need Vlahovic if you have time? Constantine Dante, always nice to see you. Much love, brother. I hope you're doing well. Go ahead, Bobby.
When I heard of his chronic injury, I have concerns. You know, somebody was saying he has some kind of groin thing that is going to hamper any medical he does, which is a concern. But then the conundrum is, you know, the opportunity to get rid of Lukaku for a player that may have some sort of sell-on value just seems too good to let down. And so long as he's prepared to fit into our wage structure, that would help us a great deal. So, you know, just like you know, our former speaker, I'm slightly just waiting to see what the directorship and the owners do with this one, because they have a bit more inside knowledge, and whatever they do, I go with. But knowing that Lukaku has effectively burnt all his bridges, and this could well be the only way to get rid of him, they may, in consultation with the medical team, take this deal. However, you know, paying what 40 million euros as well. Well, I guess that yet again looks cheaper than having to buy Lukaku out of his deal.
Yeah.
So we're kind of cornered, bullied into it as well. Trouble is, do we have an injury-prone striker in the attack? And I suspect that injury is probably why um, um, Juventus want to get rid of him.
So it's the
Yet
financial
again, you
thing.
know, there is a semi-answer to that. That's Jackson. That certainly means Jackson won't be denied of game time. And that certainly means that if he does come, he's going to be a bit part squad bench player coming off the bench because of his condition. So, bearing all that in mind, it looks more likely to happen than not.
Yeah, and given that that's just the asking price, you know, Chelsea always look to negotiate that and bring him down. And he's 23, and he's had 2 seasons of scoring over 20 goals. I know last season was bad, but 2 good seasons, that's over 80 games of scoring over 20 goals each. That is strong. And yeah, and I trust the directors to sell on, you know, if he's not coming through in the next season or two. Although this will hamper the progression of the players that we have on loan and others like Breuer that we might be looking to maybe send out on loan or give, you know, rotational minutes this season. So there are so many aspects of this. And then there's the Lukaku side of if indeed this deal doesn't go through, would he be stuck with us? Will Poch now be forced to integrate him back to the squad? Saudi might not be interested anymore, or he may have even burnt that bridge permanently, you know. So, and then his value keeps dropping. He's 40 million now. By January, where he'll still be 40 million, it could be 30, it could be 20. You know, by next summer, will clubs really be that interested? Will we just be stuck with him for a year, paying 300, 390, or whatever his salary is every week? So there is that, and people need to always consider the real possibilities of these things happening. You know, as much as we might turn our nose at his injury record, at his poor form, which was 10 goals last season, and things like that, and maybe out competing Jackson for the first place, there's still always that real possibility that Lukaku might actually be stuck with us, and he might need to get reintegrated back into the squad and actually compete with Jackson, because Poch is new to all of this. The directors are also new to all of this, as much as they might not like him. They don't know him the way we do. They weren't there when the interview came out. They weren't part of this. So to them, he's just a bad review on a piece of paper. And everyone said, oh, he has this, he has that. But they could also look at another piece of paper and see goals. And then he would have him wearing the Chelsea shirt again, because would rather have that than him sitting at home and, you know, getting 300 bags a week. So there's that side of things that people really need to consider. We share
No,
in this pain.
I have to disagree. I don't think that's an option. I
I
don't
knew
think.
Bobby would say something.
No. It's because these
Martin,
guys.
did you know?
These
I
guys
knew,
aren't
but
stupid.
still,
They've done their due diligence. They've looked into this, and the player himself has made it abundantly clear he doesn't want to come. He hasn't even come back to Chelsea. He hasn't even indicated that there is a remote possibility of that. And these people listen to the fans. And let me tell you, if you want to destroy the good work you've done, bring that guy back and you've split the fan base. In fact, not even down the middle. So that is not an
so
option.
if the
It's not on
window
the
shuts
table.
and there's no club, what happens?
We can.
Well,
He trains with the academy. It has happened
exactly.
before. This is
Yeah.
not the first time. I disagree with you on this one, even though I don't want to be on Bobby's side, but I'm going to disagree with you, Martin.
No, I'm on your side too, but I'm saying there is that possibility
No,
that
it's
it could
there. As
happen
long as
because
he's
it's a
still
new
here, as
coach.
long as he's still a
So
Chelsea
ra-
player, the possibility is still
rather
Yeah,
than
there.
rather than have him sit and just be taking money for nothing, we're wasting the money anyway. So they'll buy him out the contract. If
no,
all
but
fails,
they
they'll just
can't
buy
though.
him
If
out.
they can get money from him, they can't buy him out if they can still get money for him. People need to understand this
Well,
part
this
about
is it. That's why the whole Juventus thing is a possibility, since he doesn't
yes,
want Saudi Arabia. But if that
yes.
collapses as well, then rather than have him sit in Cobham stinking out the place, they'll just buy him out.
So by
Buy him
buying him
out
out,
and
we are
dump him.
paying him out his value of his contract, which is 40 million.
Oh,
Well,
you know.
that
Yeah, you're
they'll be
buying his
paying that
contract away
anyway.
from him.
They'll be
Yeah,
paying
but
that
you could be
anyway
paying
if the
that.
deal fails.
Yeah, but you could pay that
So
for 1 year and still get 20 of that back.
yeah, you're double talking yourself, if I may say so. Now, they
No.
don't want that option. They don't want to have to pay him out. That's why they're
Hmm.
looking to sell him out. But taking your point that if that collapses, rather than have him sit at Cobham stinking out the place, they will
Yeah,
then pay him out. That's the ultimate option, to
but
lose
they
the
can
money
always
completely.
still get money for him, even after 1 year, even
Which is
after
the
two
option they
years.
prefer.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see
They'll get
what you
money
which
mean.
from
I
him
see
one
what
way
you
or the
which
mean.
other.
which
Just
means
keep
even
paying him
next
for a
year,
year and then look
yeah,
to get
another
something.
Saudi
Okay.
club could give us 20 for him or 30 even.
Yeah, but we don't care really about that.
Mm.
I think it's problematic. Let's just move on from him. Sorry you're late. Yeah, lateness is greatness. They say Panda. I said it means if if it means we get rid of Lukaku, then bring on Vlahovic. A lot of people think so too. If he goes to Lazio, he may price himself out of Chelsea at Chelsea's reach. He is a class player, and his value will be insane. He's a player I like so much. I have to be honest with you. Big up to you too, Jackson Briani Yahayo, aka the 343 Dilemma, Vivella FC. I appreciate you, Contender FC. I hope you're doing well. Let's see what else we have here. Juve are robbing us in this deal. Why should a Chelsea pay money for a player worse than Lukaku? He's not worse than Lukaku. He's way better Lukaku in so many ways. He's an all-round player. Lukaku isn't an all-round striker. Hit the nail on the head. Will he be prepared to fit in with a structure? Yeah, that's another thing. Even if Chelsea want Vlahovic, swap Lukaku and Vlahovic plus maximum of 15 million, make it. Okay, take it or leave it. Yeah. Let's see what else we have here. Okuntade, Benson, Bamiyo, I appreciate you joining, brother. Hello to the panel. If you are to choose between Lukaku and Vlahovic, who will you take? Even if I close my eyes, I would choose Vlahovic.
I
I'm
was
sorry.
sleeping.
Now, I don't know how else to say that. I wanted Vlahovic before we signed Lukaku. I actually did a scouting video with Mikhail that we discussed how, again, he's the player that will be a better fit for Thomas Tuchel's preferred approach. In my opinion, if Vlahovic is an injury it's an injury concern. The Chelsea must go again. Chelsea must not go anywhere near him. Lukaku should go to Saudi Arabia or stay with the under 21s. That's an option. Do we think we can sell Vlahovic in a year or two? I think we can. He's still 23. He's not in our future plan for like 35 million. Then it's okay. At least get Lukaku off our books, get Vlahovic, and then sell him later. It won't be bad business because he's a fine player. And there's a chance we decide to keep him if he starts firing on all cylinders. Nikki Tawari says another nice idea for a swap deal with Vlahovic. A lot of people don't like that, but I think the club may well end up doing that because Vlahovic will still have a sell-on value if he does well. Aka says, I think it's crazy that most of us are willing to pay 30 million plus for a player in bad form and injured. Don't we already have enough injuries? I get it that Lukaku, that it's Lukaku, but it's a bit wild to you. Wow. Some concerns right there. Rain, we really wasted tons of money just to terminate a contract. Whose contract, in your opinion? Loan Lukaku to Strasbourg. Yeah, orange face emoji. Lukaku did say he wants to play this year because of Euros. I doubt if he would want to stay at home. So yeah. Again, it won't benefit him not to be playing, so he would want to. Again, he would push for a move. That's how I see it. Right? Again, he wants to play, so he will have to make a decision. Stay on the bench, play out there with the academy, train with the academy, or buy your contract out and then go play football and be ready for your club. I totally agree with Bobby. Lukaku needs to go. Don't want this guy anywhere near our squad. But that is just Martin making a point. He's not saying he wants him to stay. If Vlahovic is an injury concern, just getting him because you hate Lukaku doesn't make sense because we are going to lose money in the longer term. Any penny wise anyway, penny wise pound foolish. Okay, you ended that the first sentence with anyway. But here's the thing, Vlahovic will have a selling value, and if we decide to sell him in the future, there's a chance we'll make a lot of money from selling him. But does he need to be near the squad? We can just tell him to stay home. And again, as not in contention, still, yeah, I think I agree with you. This says, update, new offers are expected before the end of the window for Marco Correa. Wages and the players' commitment to Chelsea are the biggest issues on hand at the moment. His wages will always be an issue. We've always known that. Anyone who chooses Lukaku over Vlahovic needs their eyes for football tested and then arrested. Yeah, I think I agree with you. Hello to you, to Emmanuel Obedan. Coach Vlahovic is injury prone, according to some reports. So would be wiser to buy him if the reports are true. I think we should buy him. Injury prone depends again who you ask to define what that means. You should go check his records yourself. Don't just believe in everything they tell you out there. Lukaku's value is 30 million max if you're talking about pounds. There's a shortage of experienced strikers in the market. Coach Vlahovic is great for football and business. He's only 23. He'll still be worth 50 million 3 years from now. Honestly, I do agree with you. Let's see what else we have here. But I get it. It would be a gamble, but I think it's worth the risk if you ask me. Item here, official Chelsea has completed the signing of teenage midfielder Leslie Ugochukwu. The 19-year-old joins on a 7-year contract with a club option of a further year. Wow. That's some
long thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, talk about tying down a player. That's what it is. Yeah. Chelsea selling value Vlahovic comes in as again is plagued by injuries. Okay. The general consensus among Blues fans is anyone but Lakaka. I can't believe I just said it. Camaro Upset said, hi, I want to know transfer deal for Moises Caicedo right now. Nothing. The two clubs are still negotiating. Rumors are that we want to merge the deal with that of Robert Sanchez, the Brighton goalkeeper that we want. Sell Lukaku, get Vlahovic. I want that to happen. I prefer an injury prone Vlahovic than 10 Lukaku's. Okay, Martin, your final thoughts so we can call it a day.
Yeah, so I just like I said earlier, this is a 50-50 deal, and everyone needs to always, account for all the variations and the scenarios on this. For those, putting all their hopes and prayers on Lukaku's desire to play the Euros or all of that, that's fine. for those putting on their prayers that if he stays, he would be with the under 21s, which would also influence the under 21s and be toxic to them. That's fine. For those hoping the club will see the backlash and not play him, knowing that him not playing would reduce his value and reduce, just make everything tank down from his sake. That's fine. So it's all about the positives and the negatives and which poison you're willing to hang your hat on. Now, Vlahovic is not perfect, but one good thing is that he's young. His injuries, it's like that, but he's played 27 games last season, which was also not the best still. So yes, you can look at it on both sides and say 10 and 27, bad, or maybe just average, or maybe just in a poor situation given Juventus crisis. And also you can look at it as, would he be the starter? If he's not the starter, then are you really that concerned? Or if he's the starter, then isn't that competition? Do you trust Poch to, fall to the politics
Yeah.
of an expensive striker? Do you trust Poch to decide on what's best for the club, regardless of whose name or what the wages are? Or do you trust even the first striker to not get injured this season? Because all it takes is for Jackson to get a little knock in this match and everyone is back on the new striker train. So it's, there are so many things that could play out in this and so many scenarios, but ultimately we want what's best for Chelsea. We want our team to progress. We want our team to, perform good and to be successful. And for that to happen, we need to get Lukaku out. And for that to happen, we need another option if Broya wouldn't be relied upon given his fitness and his lack of minutes in pre-season. If that is the case, then we need to make decisions that might not be, the perfect or the most pleasant.
Yeah.
But it's the first step. It's the first step to productivity, the first step to starting off the season the way we want to start off the season. And so for me, this is a 50-50 deal. If it happens, I see the positives, I see the negatives. But he's 23. There could be an upside to it. If it doesn't happen, then we'll have to rely on Lukaku's grace to choose a Saudi move or get stuck. And if it's left with us, then we now have to rely on the coach and the owners to feel the pain of the fans and not do the impossible. So there's so many angles to this deal, but ultimately, I just hope they make the right decision. They're taking their time with it. We've not heard anything from the Chelsea side. It's just the Juventus and their price and everything. Chelsea has been quiet, which is good. It shows me that they are discussing the way we are discussing about this. And they know it's not an easy deal, but they're weighing up their options. And I hope they make the right decision on this.
All right, thank you so much, Martin. I appreciate you finding the time to join us today. Let's see what else we have here. Does Ugo play for France or Nigeria? He's represented he's played France in the youth level, but the opportunity is still there for him to represent Nigeria if he wants. But I don't see that happening. Rumors have it that Vlahovic has rejected Chelsea's move. Okay, I haven't heard anything such thing. He plays for France. Thank you for saying that, Cedric. Sheila, I appreciate you saying that. Lafiola, I think I will be happy too, but I want Lukaku out by all means. Yeah, Katila, a thief is the. A thief is the one that is likely to be more angry if someone steals from him. Food for thought. I think, I like that one there. Let's get our midfielders, strikers about 4 next week. I think we should do that. And Leslie, again, I hope he stays. If only we sign again, even if we sign Caicedo, I hope he stays. I think he's very different. With that, we've come to the natural end of the show. I want to say thank you to Martin, Bobby, who was here, Roger was here, DJ Bro was here. I appreciate you all. Much love. And I say hi to Machos Trent TV. I appreciate you joining. Constantine Dante, big up to you and one love. Namaya Fowler, one love to you. Chelsea all the way, much love to you. Lenfield, love, and who else is here? Cedric, much love to you. Emmanuel Obedan, much love. And again, Vic, much love to you. JC, all of you. And Cameo, I appreciate you all. And if I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all and bye.
Yeah, goodbye, everyone.
you.